As I stuff my face,
Sweet.
yes.
Oh my goodness. Episode 48.
I was gonna say I'm gonna be
Barag
eating too.
/ Jared.
Stuffing.
Oh, and Terra too?
Yeah.
Stuffing face.
Alright, eating in front of the rest of the party. Alright, guys, we don't need any HP. It's all good. It's on that side of the table.
Let's have a good berry.
Yeah.
Good berry.
I have tons of those.
Okay, so episode 48, guys. Very, very quick rundown. You guys have made it back to Baldur's Gate, but unbeknownst to you, maybe you had a little small part to do with it. The last anchor has cemented itself, secured itself to the material plane. All the anchors that have previously fallen on the material plane have activated all over the world, going to one common point in space. There is no sunlight, it is all dark. And now the material plane is inundated with these monstrosities falling from the heavens. Small, most folk can deal with them, but horrifying nonetheless. Baldur's Gate, as with the rest of the material plane, is preparing for what? Nobody really knows. So you guys get back and you learn that the Lorwick Dales was one of the first towns to completely fall to whatever's happening.
Again.
Yes.
Again.
It seems that the closer in proximity to an anchor, the more the thicker the activity is, the heavier the activity is. And the Lorwick Dales is pretty close to the Crimson Sands anchor. In fact, it's one of the first townships. So you hear that they're the first to fall, and everybody had different reactions. Terra, you were emotionally distraught. Barag, of course, your first reaction was to get armor.
Ready for war.
Kohl, you went to the Clamhammer. You saw that it was being used as a den of iniquity. A lot of things happening there that you probably would not have allowed to happen. When you arrived, there were a few folks trying to steal actually break into the porthole, but were unable to. And you quickly quelled that with a threat. And your reputation had a little bit to do with that too.
Shook him down.
Yeah, you did.
Another hole through his ceiling.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, there is young Daedalus Hartwell. Daedalus, you learned that the activity over at Dene Manor has been escalated, and you also hear that there is somebody by the name of, from your past, belonging to the same coven that you belong to, has been wandering Baldur's Gate at night. You don't know if the two are related, but nobody is going by Dene Manor. So, you hear that the dwarves are coming to support Baldur's Gate, maybe? Nobody really knows why they're on the march. But the Dukes of Baldur's Gate hope it is in support of the city in this time. However, every city and township is in need of support. It's just not Baldur's Gate. But it looks like all the major families and clans from up north have ventured south, and they have now descended upon Baldur's Gate in huge columns of platoons of what would be heavy horse. They ride dire boars, but they would be considered heavy horse. But they're riding in on dire boars, and they've got hundreds of heavily armored warriors. And the city kind of exhales basically relief. They feel a little bit more hopeful now that the dwarves have arrived, but nobody really knows why they have. Terra, you actually did send out a message to a monastery in hopes of getting hold of your brother as well. So, what would you guys like to do?
We're just observing this march right now.
Everybody is. Everybody is gathered by the walls of Baldur's Gate. People are cheering as the dwarves, looking very stoic, and like they mean business. Some of them have black ichor on their armor and on their weapons as well. They look very serious, and you see many banners of the Dwarven Empire. You see the Fireforge banner. The Fireforge, actually everybody make a history check. Barag with advantage.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Natural 20! Holy moly!
16.
16, okay. Barag?
16 as well.
16 as well. Okay, you all know that the Fireforge clan, they are currently seated on the throne. The throne has shifted possession like 3 times in the past 5 years. It's not unusual. This is what is commonly referred to as Dwarven politics, and it usually happens at the end of a sword.
Of course.
And
lots of drinking.
Yeah, so there's very, very little negotiations at any sort of table when it comes to Dwarven politics. But right now it is Clan Fireforge. After Clan Fireforge, you see another very important banner. It is Clan Ironhammer. And you see mostly shield maidens. Not a lot of males in Clan Ironhammer. Mostly shield maidens. A lot of them would be your kin, your cousins and your sisters. Toward the back of the column, you see a banner, the Drak banner. A smaller, less important family, but again showing their support for all of the dwarf holds of the north, commonly known as the Delzoun Northern Kingdom, or the Delzoun holds. So, what would you guys like to do?
Where are the Dukes at right now? Are they still at the college?
No.
Or are they...
Uldar Ravengard has come to greet the contingent of dwarves. And he is not alone. He has also come with, Rilsa Rael, who is kind of like the intelligence officer of the Dukes.
So I'm gonna go stand by the Dukes.
Okay. So Uldar has suffered during the Night of Demons, and he is using a cane, not because it looks cool, but because he has to. So he is less active now with a sword, although he's still very, very well respected for the service that he has provided for Baldur's Gate on many, many occasions. So what do you do?
So I kind of just look at the dwarves with like a bead of sweat just kind of dripping down. Just in general, dwarves make me very nervous.
Yeah.
So, and I have like no, I don't want to say regard in hiding my nervousness, but I guess you could say it like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just stand along the side of the Dukes and just don't say anything.
Okay. The first clan that you see go by is Clan Fireforge. All their armor is most lavish out of them all. All of these male dwarves look like veterans of many, many wars. and all of them ride these great direboar steeds. Slowly, as they're just kind of trotting into Baldur's Gate, eyes just kind of affixed forward. No sort of emotion or anything on their face. They just mean business. And they look it. And you see several of the dwarves kind of carrying almost like a carriage as it kind of makes its progression through the city. A lot of people kind of clapping and thank the maker you're here. Thank you, dwarves. Thank you, dwarves of Delzoun. So what do you do?
Again, I just kind of respectfully but nervously stand attentive with the rest of the dukes.
All right, so Rael just kind of looks over to you and she goes, "You better get used to this. It's par for the course for your position."
So I just kind of smirk, yeah, still getting used to it. In fact, I might have some information on this.
Really?
Yes, we were there when it started. I can give you more details later.
Somehow, I'm not shocked that Valor's Ransom was there when this started. I'll have to pick your brain if that's okay.
That's fine with me.
Excellent. So she kind of exhales. This is going to be good. So Uldar is kind of looking at the both of you as you guys are conversating, and ladies, stand at attention and put our best foot forward. We need their help.
Let's just hope they give it.
Well, fingers crossed. So, Clan Fireforge stops right where you are. The door swings open to the carriage, and you see a very patronly sort of dwarf, big, thick, white beard with bands of platinum and gold all throughout the beard. It's so much that the beard almost clangs together as he walks out. His armor is lavish, beautiful. His pauldrons just covered in precious jewels and metals. Sword, thick sword. Like the flat of the blade is as wide as a human hand. And it's just kind of like on his back as he walks out. And he walks out with another dwarf. This dwarf is unusual because he looks as tall as a small human. He's way oversized for a regular dwarf. And he's got a bright orange beard, tattoos almost from head to toe, and he's got no hair on his head, and he's deeply scarred, and you see that he's got piercings all over his face. And he walks out right after the leader of Clan Fireforge. The leader of Clan Fireforge, that you know his name from the two of you that rolled natural 20. He is called Ulfgar Fireforge, and he sits currently on the throne of Delzoun. And you also know that he is not one to be trifled with. Clan Fireforge in general is not one to be trifled with. And so he gets out after Ulfgar, and he is almost as wide as he is tall. He is just thick. And he comes out and he's just got this huge war maul strapped on his back. And he just kind of like has it ready to go. He's always got like one hand on it, on the haft of it. And he's just kind of looking and surveying the crowd. He never looks at Ulfgar. He's always just, you see his eyes just kind of like surveying the crowd as everybody seems to be impressed by the specimen of a dwarf. And so the elder statesman comes out with his, you assume his wife, very fair features for a dwarf, although clearly a dwarf. Most female dwarves have very hard features, but very fair features for her. You almost kind of get the impression that there could be some sort of human lineage in her past. But she's very attractive, and she's got long blonde hair that comes almost down to the floor, with a beautiful gown. She's got kind of like a cinch right in the middle with a sword kind of on the side, and one kind of like almost like a decorative pauldron. You would think that this is kind of like, this is dwarven formal dress. This is prom for dwarves. There's pauldrons and swords. So they get out, and immediately Uldar gets down to one knee and he says, "Your Highness." And so does Rael. She gets down on one knee, "Your Highness."
And so do I, and I say, "Your Highness."
So he kind of looks at all of you, and he just doesn't really say a word, although he looks right past you, Terra, as he sees that Nox is behind you. And he's kind of staring at her, and he goes, "I like that. I like that a lot. You make a fine impression."
Thank you, Your Majesty.
"We've come. Baldur's Gate is known as the center of weird.
That it is.
I suppose we must have words.
Indeed.
Understand, we have not decided to throw our support to the defense of Baldur's Gate. There are other cities and townships that need help. Waterdeep, for example, has a bigger port. They're far more important to me. I hope to restock, resupply, and continue. But I will hear what you have to say. Make it count." So he looks kind of, he regards Uldar as he says, "Make it count." And he kind of continues right into the main mansion, Uldar's mansion. So, the wife kind of like bows her head, and the very imposing dwarf doesn't even regard any of you. He just continues to walk as the procession and Fireforge clan begin to kind of break up, and you hear orders of, "All right, let's get these animals tied up. I want security. I need a perimeter. Be prepared to kill these things as they drop. I want them dead before they hit the ground." And so you just see dwarves now taking posts and positions in very military-like fashion. The next family, of course, is the Ironhammer clan. And you see a bunch of shield maidens, helmets, the Ironhammer symbol emblazoned on the pauldron, and you see Embarrass take off his helmet. "Boy, give your father a hug."
I just go up and give him a nice big mean hug.
So he has his arms wide open and just gives you a hearty dwarven hug, and for a second it's like, "Oh God, he's strong for an old dude." Make a perception roll. 10? You do kind of catch a little bit of stink eye from one of your sisters. She's kind of looking at, all of this affection that's being poured over you. She just kind of takes her helmet off and just kind of looks away and just walks off. So, what do you know about all this mess?
Oh, well, this mess, unfortunately,
It's your fault, eh, boy?
well, I am your son after all.
I knew you did this.
We tried to stop it.
Of course.
It proved too much of a feat, though, for us.
I'm glad you left some for the Ironhammer clan.
Aye, plenty for the Ironhammer clan.
Let's go get an ale.
About that,
Oh boy! So he grabs you by your pauldron and he just He hits you as hard as he can.
Oh my gosh.
So, what's your AC?
17.
17, he hits you. So, you feel a little blood on your lip, and he goes, "Don't tell me that."
Father, we'll have to have a talk about this. I've come down a different path, unfortunately, more recently.
Punches you again.
Now this is getting interesting.
Okay, how about this? I buy you 2 ales, and we sit down and talk about this.
I don't drink by myself, boy.
Well, I will be there drinking, but it will be only water or maybe a mild.
So you see him, he's fighting every urge to punch you right in the face. What about wine? Don't you drink that during ceremonies? Can you drink wine, boy?
Well, you know what, maybe... No, I vow to never go down that path again. But I will have a wine.
A wine?
With you.
Alright. As long as you drink with your pinky out, I suppose.
Well, that won't be happening. It's going to be the biggest
I'm not
glass
sure
of
of
wine
that.
I can have.
Okay, alright.
If
Let's
I'm
go.
drinking, it's going to be the biggest one I
I remember the
can
Clamhammer being quite a riotous place. As a matter of fact, there's the proprietor of Clamhammer right there. Is that not right, Kohl Ravencrest?
That's right. It's in a state of disrepair at the moment.
Disrepair.
Yeah.
I
nothing
remember bards singing, people dancing.
Oh, me too. It wasn't long ago, but it's not the sort of thing I would invite our honored guests
I'll tell you what.
to.
Clan Ironhammer, we're great warriors, but we build great many things. We forge great many things. Give me an hour, we can make a serviceable bar, but give me a night and some ale, and me and my compatriots will have you in ship shape before the morn.
If you can do that, you drink for free.
Get your gold pouch out, boy.
So I would like to make arrangements with the nearest brewer to just like roll as many available barrels, casks as they can.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and let's start with, let's go ahead and make this an intelligence check.
Okay.
Um,
Not extremely intelligent.
Yeah, I'm going to say with advantage.
Okay.
I'll give you advantage on this.
19.
Doesn't take long. You find a couple of ships that have come from, lands far away with their bellies full of barrels of different wines and ales. So, now we haggle for price.
Okay.
It's a human crew. So they, okay, well, we were going to drop this off at another bar, but I'm willing to let it go for a few bucks more. I mean, buyer beware, and you know.
What's a few more to you?
Well, you're the one buying, right? Why don't you throw me out an offer and I'll counter? I believe that's how negotiations work. This is all after about an hour of trying to get a hookup, so.
Oh, I'd like to make sure there's some wine in there too. Because
Okay.
I overheard Barag's negotiations.
Sure.
about
They
the
do
wine.
have wine.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, they have more wine than they do actual ale.
Do I have an idea of, like, just given my history running this tavern, do I have an idea of what, like, with the goal of not getting ripped off, do I have an idea of, like, what these types of things usually go for, like, what a good price would be?
Yeah, you normally pay with your reputation. Given who you are, you usually get sizable discounts on most of what you order for the Clamhammer. So you can get away with a 55-gallon barrel of ale for about 300 gold.
Okay.
And you easily can stretch that out to 600 gold at the bar.
Okay. And how many of those would I need? I think to cover my.
That's completely up to you.
I'm not like necessarily inviting the entire dwarven army.
I understand, but they're dwarves.
Capacity of about 60 in that place.
You understand that dwarves have a very high threshold when it comes to
Sure.
alcohol. So.
And then how much gold is one platinum, I guess you could say?
10.
10?
Yeah.
Okay. Show that to him.
All the moolah.
On the
Is that
bottom.
the party gold?
Yeah.
You can just tell him. You don't have to.
Oh, that's true.
Cole gets handed a mysterious note.
That's right.
Which one am I looking at?
On the bottom, so there's
Platinum pieces.
platinum
Oh.
piece
And
and all
then
that.
gold.
So that's about as much as we have right now.
Okay. And platinum is 10 gold.
Yes. 1 platinum is 10 gold.
Okay. Plus, I have my own personal stash. I know roughly what that is. Okay. 55 gallons would be 300.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't seem like that much for dwarves, like 55 gallons. How about we start with... What are we going to say, like 3 of those?
Okay.
Let's start with 3 of those.
All right. And how much you looking to pay? Because I have those promised at a certain price point. You see, you have to at least match.
If you cut me a good price on it, I might be a future customer. $4.50 per
barrel. That leaves you still a lot of meat on the bone.
I was thinking closer to $2.75.
All right. Well, it was nice talking to you. It's a privilege talking to Kohl Ravencrest. I've never met a member of Valor's Ransom. At least I'll have that.
Your other customers,
Yeah.
you think they're gonna return? Are they be returning customers for you?
The Stabbin' Cabin? Yeah, they're good.
I've been in that place. They're all right.
Yeah. You always have to take vitamins when you come out, though.
You see, I
kind of a dirty place.
I didn't tell you exactly what I'm doing with all this. You see, the entire Dwarven delegation just arrived. Well, they're...
Yeah. I can hear the war drums from here.
Well, guess which tavern they're choosing to swing through
Wow.
tonight?
The Clamhammer.
Yeah.
I heard that place fell apart. It's like a shithole.
Well, they're not going to the stabbing cabin. So I'll tell you, I got some important people coming through, and they have their reasons. So maybe if you cut me a deal, we can keep this supply line open, and you'll be making more money off of me in the future.
A little future business. All right. I'll tell you what. Kohl Ravencrest. You're a bounty hunter, right?
Some people call it that.
I'll tell you what. This is what we'll do. I'll give you 5 barrels at $100 a barrel under one condition. I have one favor to cash in anytime I want. No questions asked. I know you're an adventuring lot. I have a line on something big, far bigger than me. You see, and this paltry crew, half of them have scurvy.
I don't know anything about scurvy. So I don't know what I can do for you.
I never met that guy.
I'm guessing this has something to do with bounty hunting?
No, not bounty hunting. Not necessarily. More adventuring. But I can certainly make a lot more on calling in this favor than I can on a couple of barrels of ale.
So I just kind of like...
Has to do with a map. An X that I believe may lead to some great things.
Sounds interesting.
Of course.
Great things.
I'm a sailor. I don't do that kind of stuff. But if I were to perhaps employ Valor's Ransom to you know.
So you need more than just me.
Of course. Again, future business, right?
Future business.
The interests of commerce, growing your relationship with your ale provider,
Well,
and we split whatever you find there, 50-50. That's fair.
well, I can't guarantee you it'll be Valor's ransom, but I know some able hands.
All right. So he kind of spits in his hand, puts his hand out.
I just like cringe slightly and then just reach out and shake his hand.
Let's seal the deal.
Yeah.
You gotta spit first.
So I do. Just like sailors. And I just shake his
I
hand.
can imagine like Kohl and there's just like a long line of spit like,
like-
slowly traveling through his hand.
Not the first time he's done it, but he just
Sure.
dreads it
Yeah.
every time. So I do it, I shake his hand, and I give him the money. So it would be 500 gold total, right?
500 gold total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 50 platinum. Yeah,
50
platinum.
platinum. Okay.
Yeah.
So I get the money together and I hand it over to him. Would any of your men mind helping me get it over to the tavern?
Sure.
I'll tip them.
Sure.
All right. So I'd like to get that going.
All right. By the way, my name's Caden.
Caden,
Yeah.
good to meet you.
I figure we're going into business together.
Yeah, well, if your ale's any good, then I'm looking forward to it.
I hope so.
And I just kind of walk away and try to like hide my hand as I'm like wiping it
Sure.
on my pants.
Sure. So he calls a couple of his hands, his crew, and they start wheeling out barrels. All right. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I really have no idea. It's like I guess
Kyle's like, I don't know.
I'm just kind of watching all the dwarves and everything unfold, you know, and watching all them speak to them. And I'm like,
Sure.
well, hopefully the dwarves, or at least maybe some of the dwarves will stick around. I'm not sure, but I'm just kind of watching everything because, you know, they have things to do. I'm just kind of like there. You know what I mean?
Okay. So you see them coming quickly in and out of the Clamhammer, and a lot of them are carrying like slabs of. They build in stone, so you see a lot of them carrying in and out slabs of granite, and you see the bar's already been kind of ripped out, and there's a new bar already half built, and you see this big granite slab, and you see a second granite slab go in there as dwarves are there singing as they're kind of building up the Clamhammer, and they're measuring up this granite stone as the top of the bar, as they're just kind of singing away. It's almost like they do this for fun. So yeah, and sure enough, you do see, walking down the road toward the Clamhammer, you do see Imbaris and his father. And his son, rather. Barag.
Ah, Daedalus! What you been up to?
Just kind of watching everything just unfold. That's
Aye.
like I'm just.
I know it's, you probably, besides myself, we haven't seen very many dwarves, especially to this measure, come into town. This is quite a sight for sore eyes.
Yeah, like, you know, you see, like, you know, maybe, like, you and, you know, pockets of them here and there, but to
Aye.
see an entire army just show up to Baldur's Gate.
Well, word is they won't be staying very long. They're here for supplies and we'll be moving on.
Boys, why don't you tell me how you did all this?
Well,
How did you break the material plane this time?
we didn't break it.
Barag, you break everything you touch, including the material plane.
This one wasn't on me.
All right. What happened?
Well, 25% of it was me.
It involved
Battle, Elder Brain.
yeah.
What is an elder brain?
Take this ginormous, just think of it, big brain.
with tentacles.
Why did you fight it?
Well, because it had something we wanted.
Well, what could be that important that you would fight a giant brain?
You ever
Which,
heard,
when I say it out loud, sounds completely ridiculous.
you ever heard of a seer stone?
Yeah, they're very valuable. I think the Fireforge clan actually did mine one hundreds of years ago. And you say you have the seer stone.
Yes, it did come at some cost, though.
Well, we didn't know about this cost till we got down there, and we tried to fight to stop the cost. Which is, well, unfortunately, either way, whether we were there or not, this, and I just point to the sky, this was gonna happen anyways.
Son, I love when you talk in vagaries. So are we getting hammered? Are we getting iron hammered?
As much as wine can do for me.
Dwarf dad jokes, Daedalus.
You're supposed to laugh, Daedalus. Come on. I kind of just nudge him.
Right. So I just kind of let out a laugh. It's like, ha
Sure.
ha ha. Yeah.
I'm not as entertaining as Hartwell the Magnificent, of course.
He's not
But
that
I do try.
entertaining.
Do you have this stone on you? Do you mind if I take a look at it? I'd love to. I've never seen one before. I've only heard of it.
Who had the stone on him?
Who had the stone? Oh, Terra
I
had the
think
stone.
she is.
Okay.
I was like, unfortunately, Terra has the stone.
Oh,
Yeah, we trust her with a lot of our stuff and her, and,
isn't she a thief?
well, yeah, but now she's also a duke, so
Wow.
and she's good at
That
she's good
she's
at
a she's a political thief.
well, she's good at cataloging though, so we kind of just
All right. Well,
Enough of the
so she currently
small
has the
talk.
stone.
Boys.
I'll talk with her later though and see if we can show it to you.
so you hear.
I just kind of look around.
Okay, and as you turn around, I'm not even gonna have you make a perception roll. You see a very matronly dwarf, thick, dark brown hair, kind of tied into braids, and about down to the middle of her back. Armor. Not as lavish as some of the armor that you have seen in the past, but the insignia is very, very familiar to you. It is the familiar insignia of the Drak clan. It is your mother, the Drak, as she kind of just stands with her arms kind of in front of her, one hand in the other. Barag.
Aye.
You see kind of like a kind of tears welling up in the corner of her eyes.
What's wrong, Mother?
I haven't seen you in 10 years. It's just taken me aback, is all.
I know I've been adventuring for some time. It's been a while since I've been out to the Dwarven Kingdoms.
We thought you'd come to Delzoun sometime, but you have stayed within Baldur's Gate, it seems.
Pressing business with my group that I adventure with.
So you see
Valor
Boris kind of uncomfortably kind of shift in his armor, and he's like, well, I'll leave you to it, lad. We'll go into the Clamhammer and meet us in there. So he kind of grabs you forcefully and drags you away from the scene.
I was gonna follow him anyway.
He grabbed you.
And I was like, hey, don't worry, I was gonna leave this anyway because it looks like this is a moment between them two.
Shut up, Daedalus, and let's get hammered.
Have fun with that.
I do ask if you
Me
need
too.
any help building anything, or it's like, are you guys covered?
Oh, we've got it covered.
Have fun cleaning in there too.
We will.
The dwarves have been here for an hour and Daedalus is being dragged away.
Poor
1
Daedalus is
hour.
always being dragged somewhere.
I expect him hungover in the morning. Please.
So, you are there in the presence of your mom, the Drak, and make a perception roll. 6. All right. You don't notice, but DS is kind of like looking past you almost over your shoulder as you turn around to see what she's looking at. It's your father, Barag Drak. And he's wearing almost like one of those Viking helmets that have like a single horn coming out of one side. Thick silver beard with black streaks. And you also see your aunt, which is his sister, Kathra Drak. And she's got jet black hair. I mean, black as coal. And she carries a big shield and spear as they kind of both make their way. And you see your father, Brunor, kind of stops about 10 feet from you, and he kind of looks at you, and he looks at his wife, Diessa, and who kind of like tells him, it's okay. And he walks over to you and gives you a big hug.
And I just embrace him very awkwardly, but I do.
So you can feel the kind of wet from his tears on your shoulder as he embraces you, and he says, "We've missed you, boy."
Hi, I've missed you as well. I know it's been a while since you probably have even heard from me. It's
A raven every now and then would be nice. I'm not gonna lie.
I will make sure to add that to the list of things that I need to keep track of when I'm out adventuring.
Sure.
I do apologize for the unknown amount of time without a correspondence.
So you see, make another perception roll, would you?
18.
So you see your aunt very uncomfortable, and she's like, Broggy, have you heard from your cousin, Gefelda?
Aunt.
It's Gefelda's mother.
Catherine.
Yeah, I was like,
And I kind of stroke my beard very awkwardly, and well, I think this is a story better told maybe sitting at a bar sometime.
Well, there's a bar here.
I think that may be in order soon.
So she kind of walks over to you and puts her hand on your forearm and is looking at you with tears in her eyes. Broggy,
Yes, Aunt.
what happened?
Well,
I've heard so many different things.
she's still alive out there somewhere.
So you see instantly almost like a relief kind of wash over her.
I just don't know where, Aunt. That's the problem.
You've been looking for her, yes?
That's the complicated part.
Broggy, she loves you.
I know she spared my life, but she
Spared your life.
like I said, there's a long story, but she's taken a different path, and she tried to kill my friends.
This is so...
There's a lot that's happened.
I can't say that I'm shocked. She turned her back on Delzoun a long time ago. I understand that she was unsatisfied with war and was looking for her own path, but I never thought that it would come to this.
Fortunately, she did, and like I said...
But you were looking for her, yes? I mean, you will find her. You will bring her home.
I tried to convince her to stay. She tried. In the end, she spared my life, but in the end,
you have to get her. You have to get her. You never turn your back on family. Please,
Alright.
Broggy.
I'm gonna do everything I can to bring her back.
So as soon as you say, I'm going to do everything I can to bring her back, her arms just envelop you. As she is crying like tears of relief. You can almost feel like the energy in her body just kind of... as she's almost completely limp in your body, as you're almost holding her up. And your father, Brunor, puts his arm around you and your mother, Diessa. All of you kind of share this family embrace for the first time in a long time. It's unusual because it's the first time that you're seeing your family, knowing now what you know.
Yeah.
So, your mother, who's been more the matron of the family. Most families or clans in Dwarven society are very kind of, they listen to the patron of the family.
Yeah.
But the Drak family has always been different. The Drak, and that's probably a lot of the reason why they've been kind of almost ostracized in Dwarven society. Like, they're not shunned on, but they are not embraced fully.
Yeah.
And it's their particular family system, and it works for them, is the matrons or the matriarchs of the family are the ones that are really kind of like the shot callers. So your mother, Diessa, looks to Brunor and Cathra and, can I have a moment alone with my son? So Brunor kind of puts a firm, meaty hand on your shoulder, and he gives it a little squeeze, and you see kind of his eyes are still wet with tears, and he kind of just runs a finger along his nose and I'm happy to see you, despite everything.
I mean,
I may not have sired you, but you are my son.
I mind if when I talk to you later as well. It is good to see you. It's been way too long, but would like to speak with you later about some news.
Indeed. I'll leave you to your mother.
Aye.
So he kind of plants a peck on her cheek as he and his sister Cathra kind of walk off. Not in the direction of the Clamhammer, because there is
Construction.
yeah. Well, there's Ironhammer construction.
Yeah.
So it's almost very Hatfields McCoy sort of thing going on right here.
Yeah, they don't.
So
Crap.
yeah. So your mother, Diessa, she says, I'm glad that you are talking to Embarrass. I need you to understand who you truly are. And I need you to understand the type of person that Embarrass is. Embarrass is the type of person who shuns responsibility until it's convenient for him. He came one night late with this infant that he wanted no part of. Do you understand what I'm saying? And we took you in, and we loved you, and we still do. You are part of the Drak clan. You always will be. He only comes around when there's something in it for him. He has always been that way. He is about ambition. He came because he wants you seated on that throne. That is why he came.
It's very unsettling news. I haven't really been able to figure out what to do with the news that when Embarrass arrived and told me. It's complicated.
You have a claim to the throne that the Drak clan doesn't have, and we don't want. We only want you.
Aye.
Ask yourself, what does Embarrass want? Listen to your heart, Barag. That's all I ask.
Well, my heart, what I would want. And I clutch my holy symbol right in front of her. I clutch it and I just kind of close my eyes and say a little 30-second prayer. And I kind of open my eyes. I've found a new path and my heart is torn. I don't know what to
That
do.
is life, Barag.
Baragi.
It's been a while.
Too long.
Yes. That we can both agree upon.
But ultimately, what my heart would want is a unified Dwarven kingdom. Even
Good luck. The dwarves have not been unified for a long, long time.
well, you guys are somewhat unified now. It looks like you guys are all marching together.
We're marching, but
To what avail?
it's more for survival. Facing the last days of the material plane, as it were.
Well, we might as well go down fighting if, in true Dwarven fashion.
As well.
Aye.
Maybe, I know Embarrass wants to have a good time,
Always.
but
So-
this is important. Maybe you should figure out what Ulfgar Fireforge is here and what his intentions are for Baldur's Gate.
Indeed. As far as I know, he's just here for supplies, but
It could be more, if he were persuaded.
that is,
He's not likely to listen to a halfling or a human.
of course, a fellow dwarf would greatly sway the opinion. But that would probably be better coming as a Drak than an Ironhammer.
Well, that's not my call to make. It's your
Aye.
call to make.
I know, but
But
I
you are
fear-
always a Drak.
I fear if he senses a danger to the throne, he won't listen at all.
That is a very real possibility as well. He knows that you have a legitimate claim to the throne of Delzoun. But Baragi,
Aye.
there are old, ancient ways. Should you decide to invoke them.
I'm assuming you mean the end of a sword.
Dwarven politics.
Aye. Dwarven politics. This is such a complicated situation.
Doesn't have to be. You don't need to involve yourself in any of it. You can just come home with us. I don't want you sitting on a throne. I know what happens to Dwarven kings.
Aye.
I just want you safe. I want you to grow a beard as white as your father's. Just a little less attitude.
So you're saying with white comes some sass? Take that as a yes.
He's slept outside many times in
In
the goat pen.
Ooh. I'm surprised you didn't go as far as the pig pen.
Well, I love him.
A little bit.
You know, I've thought about it.
Aye.
So she gives you a big hug. I know you're confused. I
Very.
understand that you are. So she kind of gives you a little distance. In the end, you'll listen to your heart, I'm sure. And people will accept it or not accept it. As long as you accept it. You understand, my son?
As best as I can right now. I'm torn. And I just wish, like I said, I wish I could bring the two of these clans together somehow. But,
Yeah.
the way, well,
The Drak clan is a modest clan. We would never go to war with the Ironhammers. They know it, and they sometimes use it.
well, who said anything about war between the two of you?
We've had skirmishes for the past 50 years.
Well, maybe I can change that somehow. Maybe.
Change would be a welcome thing.
Peace would be nice. Just some peace and quiet. I just look up to the sky like...
And it's dark. You look up at the sky, thinking that the sun is up there, and it's black. You don't even see stars. The only thing that you see are shafts of light that meet to a common point.
Mm. So I look back down and I just kind of stare at the ground, and you know, with all this going on, peace between all the clans would be nice, especially between Ironhammer and Drak.
It would be. That's very optimistic. But that's
Well.
part of the reason why we love you.
I try.
I know you do. I know you try. That's all anybody can ask. I'll leave you to it.
No, I think I need to go speak to the king. Find out.
If he will have you, sure.
I hope he will. I do have. Well, I'm part of Valor's Ransom. You
I've
might have heard.
I may have heard that you are friends with Daedalus Hartwell.
Ah, yes.
I
Daedalus.
would love to meet him one day.
If you promise to talk to Father about peace.
I will do my best. So she gives you another hug and a kiss on the cheek.
And just embrace her back and just tell her, alright, Mother, I have business to attend to. I have a duke to meet with first.
She kind of runs her fingers through your beard. She's like, let him comb through this thing, by the way.
Ah,
Take care of yourself.
I know.
How are you going to give me many, many grandkids if you don't take care of your beard?
Well, this is a few weeks worth of adventuring. I didn't have much access to anything.
It's actually quite, like, patchy. Because it's been cut, it's been burned, it's been, like, acid. It's like, so you've got, like, patches and clumps. It looks a bit of a mess.
Yes, I have a bit of attending to do to it. I've a few skirmishes with some not so friendly folk recently, Mom, so I do apologize for my appearance.
Apology accepted.
I just actually barely got back into town before I heard the march of dwarves coming down the road.
Yeah.
Only been here one
War
night.
drums were on full display.
Yes, woke me up nice and early, and
Indeed.
it's a sight for sore eyes to see so many dwarves here.
Hopefully we stay.
I'm hoping talking to the king will have them you stay. If not everybody, at least maybe one or two clans.
That would be nice. Well, I think you have a king to attend to.
Let me speak to my friend, or I mean Duke Terra Highhill.
Wow. Daedalus Highhill? Or Daedalus Hartwell and a Duke of Baldur's Gate too?
You know, I'm just lucky to have such good company away from the Dwarven kingdoms.
I suppose.
So I will have to speak to her. Maybe she can help me with the king problem.
Sounds good.
I'll probably let her do the talking though, because she
You were
is
never
a
much
duke
of a
after all.
diplomat.
No, not really, unless, well,
Dwarven politics. of course.
yeah, you know me, you know my history.
I know.
Swords and shields and hammers,
Yeah.
but like I said, I found a new path though, so I am a little different than I was back then, and I just clutched the holy symbol but you know, as much as there's differences between the two clans, maybe stopping by the Clamhammer for a drink or two might not be a bad idea.
I'm not going to
I've
make any
heard there's
promises.
free ale in the works.
Free ale?
I've heard rumors. That's all I've heard. It's just a few rumors here and there.
Well, if the ale is free, we might make an exception.
Yes, and you just tell Kohl, who owns that lovely establishment.
You know the owner of the Clamhammer too. Look at you. You've got friends in high places.
If that's what you call it. Kohl's fairly new to us, so he might not consider me a friend yet.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well.
Then he doesn't know you all that well, Barag.
Well, he knows me pretty well, but he's still a little skeptical.
Sure.
He's looking out for himself, which I wouldn't blame him. I would do the same. But you know, tell Kohl that I sent you.
Okay. We'll try. I'm not making any promises. It's very uncomfortable territory for us, as you understand. But
Aye, but I think if we're gonna be dealing with this, I think we're gonna all have to put those differences aside and dig in together. Because,
I agree.
You know, we might not have a choice soon enough.
Well, I better go check on your father.
Aye, he might be a blubbering mess by now.
I'm sure he's crying his eyes out. So she
As
gives
strong as he is.
She gives you another kiss on the cheek and walks off.
Aye, I will see you later then, Mother. And we'll figure out this whole mess together. And then I will... He went inside, and he's already inside, so I'm actually going to go...
So half of Valor's ransom is in the Clamhammer, and Embarrass is just being loud and obnoxious. And this one time I took this axe. You don't want to know where I put it, but that giant will not walk the same way. Ever.
Oh, I can imagine. I've just got my
Have you
head
ever
on
seen the
this-
size of giant testicles?
I can't say I have.
They're immense. I have a new beanbag chair. Suffice it to say.
Oh.
2.
That must be quite the conversation piece.
It is.
Oh. Man, maybe I'll have to get one of those in here one of these days.
Little giant hunting?
I probably wouldn't be the one doing the hunting, but I'm sure I could procure one somewhere.
I don't mind going. I mean, dwarves are expert giant killers.
I mean, it would go well in that corner, and I just kind of like point to a random part of the room. Excuse me for a moment, and I just like kind of sling.
His eyes have just lit up, just at the thought of testicle beanbag chairs.
And I just like kind of go into the pantry where like I'm not visible anymore, and just like and like take a breather and like go back out.
Embarrasses a handful.
Yeah.
So he grabs you by the shoulder, and he's talking your ear off. Do a trick.
Okay, so I just kind of cast Mage Hand. I make multiple hands appear.
All right.
And then I have them grab I'm sure there's still random stuff on the ground.
Yeah.
So I just have, I direct them all to grab things and they start juggling.
There you go. All right.
So I'm like, eh?
So you're entertaining Embarrass while Kohl is trying to keep his shit together. And Barag is caught between the Drak and the Ironhammers. So let's go to Terra, High Hill. You are at Uldar Ravenguard's palatial mansion, where the Fireforge clan has taken up residence. Most of them are outside of the main mansion, but you just see literally like a whole fleet of dire boars. You can hear them and you smell them actually before you hear them. But you just see all their tails are just up in the air, and you see them kind of being doted upon and tended by the warriors of the Fireforge clan, who are all quite impressive in their own right. And at the door is that large, very large dwarf.
So, is there like a tying post or somewhere where I can
Yes.
put Nox?
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna kind of tie her off there and...
Yeah, as soon as Nox sees the dire boars, she kind of, her head whips over to you and whips over to the boars as she goes,
No, you do not eat pigs right now.
you just hear,
No. I said no piggies today.
and it's almost like 2 dogs that kind of go at each other. You see one dire boar kind of break from its handler as Nox and this dire boar start to kind of, for lack of a better term, bark and growl at each other.
So I kind of snap my fingers.
Make an animal handling check.
19.
19. So she immediately stops, but that dire boar continues to want to fight. But let's go ahead and make an animal handling check for the... Okay, good. So the dire boar seems to now get reined in by its handler as you manage to drag Nox off.
Noxie, I will make you the biggest beef roast you've ever had if you do not eat the piggies.
She's looking at the pigs. You see a couple of the human Flaming Fist mercenary guards are at their appointed posts as well, kind of looking on this dwarven contingent. Impressive, even to the Flaming Fist. One of them comes up to you, Miss, you may not want to leave. I mean, we love Nox, especially in the morning when she patrols and all that, but may not be the wisest idea to leave her out here with a veritable buffet.
I kind of look around. There is a lot of pork chops.
Yeah.
I agree. So, would I be able to command her to go home? Or would she know the area enough at this point?
I would say you can attempt to. That's a complex command.
Right.
It would be a high DC.
Okay. I'll try it.
Alright. DC on this is 21. What'd you roll?
21.
Alright, so you tell her, Noxie, go home. So she looks at you and she looks at the dire boars and kind of cranes her head, looks at you, and she kind of creeps off the mansion grounds as she looks like she's heading toward the direction of your manor. And as she kind of disappears around the corner, you hear, ah! Like just people seeing this giant dinosaur running down the street for the first time.
Nox. And I kind of shake my head. Thanks, lad, for the advice.
No problem.
So, I kind of like brush myself a little bit. Dwarves. And I just kind of go, and I go in.
So as you go toward the door, that very large dwarf kind of like stands right in front of it, kind of on an intercept, and just blocks it.
I'm here for the meeting with the king. I am a Duke of Baldur's Gate, sir.
King's not summoned you.
Very well. I will wait outside, I guess.
Yes, you will.
Nice tattoos. So I kind of turn around. Well, I guess they don't like halflings either.
We don't.
Huh. And I kind of just like roll my eyes.
Alright. So what do you do?
So at this point, I'm just kind of like investigating the camp a little bit and kind of watching how they do things.
For the most part, most of the clan are pitching tents on the grounds. They're not staying in the main house. Really, only the Fireforge family proper is staying inside the house. But like extended family, warriors of the clan are all, in these giant like tents that they're able to break down and take with them.
So I'm gonna call back to the Flaming Fist Mercenary Guard.
Okay.
When, I guess you can say, one of the dukes comes out, or there is a chance, let them know I have some news about all this to meet me at my manor, if you would.
I think they're having some sort of important meeting. You may want in.
Well, they don't like halflings.
Well,
Wasn't invited.
You're a duke, right?
Guess the king outweighs the duke in this case.
I can't speak for you, man, but I'll let him know. If I were you, I'd find a way in, though.
Yes, because completely hopping in on a king who is on the edge of possibly not helping us.
Hey, you said it. You're a duke.
That's true. Well, I may find a dwarf that might, help me get in. But first, I need to go look for him. Oh, God, I have to go look for him. I can't believe I just said that. And I just walk away.
Okay. So go ahead and make, we are going to say make a survival check so you can use your tracking.
19.
19. Easily enough. You are able to pick up Barag and track him directly at the Clamhammer. which you probably would have guessed anyway. So
Yeah.
So yeah, but you see him talking to a very matronly dwarf, older female dwarf, and as they kind of embrace, you know, she gives him a big hug and kiss on the cheek, and they kind of part ways. And you see a lot of work going on in the Clamhammer. Make a perception roll.
Natural 20.
With that roll, I'll say that you notice that all the insignia emblazoned on the armor of these dwarves that are working at double speed are of the Ironhammer clan. But with that roll, I'll say that you are able to see through the window in Baris, just like loudly, you know, talking at Daedalus, not really talking with, but he's talking at Daedalus. Daedalus is like, look, mage hand, look. So, and you see Kohl behind the brand new granite bar, just kind of like it, you know.
Oh joy.
But the rest of the group is there.
So I yell towards Brog, "Hey jackass, come here!"
Not you two. First the shrunken head with you jackass, and now you as well. Really?
I need your help. I can't believe I just said that. I almost want to vomit.
How do you use jackass and help in the same sentence?
Well, because you're my jackass, and I need your help. Jackass.
Question is, do I want to help you now that you just insulted me?
Barag, and I kind of like
There.
pat the side of his like shoulder, since he's just a tad bit taller than me.
I just kind of look down. You know, I do have feelings under all this. You don't have to be rude. If you want my help, just ask for my help.
You know what, Barag? You make a compelling case. You do have feelings, but I just don't give a shit.
Oh, well then, guess what? I don't give a shit if you need help.
It involves all of Baldur's Gate. You're gonna just say fuck it because I hurt your feelings?
Nah, I just wanted to say, I just don't give a shit. But you know what? I have to go see a king about some
That
business.
is what I wanted to talk to you about. You see,
Wait, why are you even here?
yeah, that's the problem. Is they don't like halflings,
Well,
and I don't like them.
You're a duke, though.
Yeah, king outweighs duke in this case, I guess, because they
Is
wouldn't
he-
let me in, and I can't exactly, you know, just stealthily walk in like I always do.
Oh yeah, because that would be pretty great.
I mean, it would be great. I mean, but I'm just saying for, you know, on the
So
teetering
you need
aspect.
help getting into the meeting, of which you're a duke and should already be there. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm already going that way, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Actually,
Where are they, by the way?
I see the other two jackasses dealing with
Let them handle that.
the sire of a jackass. So
Hey,
I think
hey,
I need all
relax.
three of my jackasses with me.
I'm just
No, I
standing at
can't
the bar,
bring
kind of like
everybody.
rubbing the material and just like knocking on it and just trying to like figure out this whole new thing.
Yeah, it looks. There's a lot of brand new stonework going in, like stone columns that are almost like dwarven carved. You see a couple of the dwarves actually have like a chisel and a mallet, and it's amazing how quickly they're able to kind of erect these beautiful dwarven pieces of art, like literally make them there. And it's pretty impressive.
I like it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna step in.
Terra, before you step in, I think we should travel minimally here. You and me, the other two should stay here for now.
I say we stick together. Valor's Ransom together has the best reputation, and we have Daedalus Hartwell.
We bring them all, but we're probably gonna have to leave those two outside. But whatever. We'll bring the whole group.
But I do have a Favor, Barag.
Favors. Everybody is asking for favors.
I'm only one Barag! Hey!
Everybody wants a favor.
Everybody wants a fucking favor!
How much is it gonna cost me? Confident.
It's gonna... I just need... Okay, let me put it this way without sugarcoating it. You talk like a jackass. You've gotten us into trouble because you are a jackass. And you talk too much. So when we go see a king that is on the teeter or the brink of...
I'm just gonna let you handle the talking because I don't deal with the politics. And I just clutch my sword. This is my politics.
Exactly. See, you get it. See, I didn't even have to explain.
I'll let you handle the talking.
All right. We've got this under wraps. I'm very proud of you, Barag.
Just gonna let you
Barag
handle
from
it.
a few years ago would just talk me over.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you handle this.
So, I go into the, I guess, bar that's being built around me.
It's impressive. It looks almost like a dwarven lodge, almost like a dwarven hunting lodge. You see like the stonework going into the fireplace. There's like custom slats of stone, very rare stone. It's really, really very heavy duty. And the fireplace is like 3 times as big as it used to be. It's like one of those 360-degree fireplaces. It's really super impressive. But you hear, Terra High Hill! It's Embarrass. I hear you have a seer stone.
Oh, yes, actually.
I would love to take a look at it. I've never actually seen one. I've only heard of one being found one time in Delzoun. And I'd like to actually take a look at it, if that's okay.
Well, I mean, we are pressing a little bit for time. The king has requested the dukes, but dwarves don't like halflings, apparently.
Dwarves don't like anybody but other dwarves.
So I was gonna take this dwarf, and I kind of point to Brog, and these 2 fine specimens with me in hopes of at least...
Nobody insults the purveyor of free ale, madam. I'll have you know.
So I just kind of lean over to the bar and look at her.
What, Kohl?
You know, all of a sudden, as soon as you do that, you notice every work has stopped, and every single dwarf is staring at Terra.
And tiefling.
I lean over to Terra. Terra, you might not want to insult that person. Cole.
Yeah, I know not to insult Kohl. My apologies about the tiefling. I'm talking about the elf.
As soon as you say that, all the work continues to commence. As soon as, yeah.
I'm talking about the elf. Actually,
Cole, I kind of like these guys.
Keep
So
them
do I
on for
hear
a
what
while.
she said? Do I hear what she said?
You're hearing all of this.
You're standing right there.
Yeah.
So I was like, I instruct one of the mage hands to like stop juggling,
Mm-hmm.
and just have it go behind her, just go right behind her head.
Sure. Make a perception roll. Make a sleight of hand check.
Oh my god.
It's going to be a contested roll.
halfling luck.
Epic fail.
This, so see, sleight of hand.
13.
19.
19. All right. So Terra's sitting there being very authoritative with everybody. And you just see these 2 purple energy magic fingers kind of like wiggling right behind her head. What is everybody looking at? Everybody's looking at you and kind of snickering. You don't really know why.
Okay, this is not funny. Whatever any of you, besides the tiefling, did.
And before she sees it, I kind of just go like this behind my back, and I snap my fingers and make it dissipate before anything.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. Listen, I have an important meeting to get into. I can't get into it. I need you, and possibly you.
I would
Okay.
suggest maybe Father, you come with us.
I'll tell you what. I'll go with you if I can take a look at that seer stone.
Fine, you can take a look at the seer stone if you...
I'm so excited.
So, I pull my pack off. Oh, God, that hurt.
It's pretty heavy. It's
Yeah.
the size of a football.
Yeah, for halfling, that's a lot. So I'm kind of like, oh, man. So I pull it over. Brock, can you pick that thing out? I can't.
You see it glowing.
So I pull it out. Be very careful and don't let anybody.
No, I
Yeah.
just want to take a look at it. And his eyes are wide. And
Pass it over to him.
I don't know where there's like a light or illumination coming from this stone. Never seen anything quite like it. It's so impressive.
It's probably magic in origin, but
Daedalus, you know, it's shimmering. And it is definitely magical energy just wafting off this thing. And, wow, this is amazing. Do you want this, or should I give it to somebody with more sturdy shoulders?
I'll take it. I'm gonna probably need it at some point.
I think I should hold on to it.
Well,
Because, well, you look like you're hurting a little there.
Well, I understand that only, wizards and such can wield a seer stone. Magic users and whatnot.
yes, but you see how skinny ours is.
Well, luckily.
He's skin and bones. I mean, compared to halfling and a dwarf.
Sure, I'll give it to whoever wants to take it, but I mean,
I'm giving it to this one, and I kind of point to Barag. Just hold on to it till we can use it.
I will hold on to it for now. And, I do, I mean, I am a paladin after all now. So I'll hold on to it. I think it'll be in safest hands.
thank you, Miss Highhill. Let's go see a king.
Absolutely, and I thank you, sir.
So I'll take back the seer stone and I put it in my pack and.
Yeah, it tingles when you hold it in your hand.
This, I get goosebumps. This feels strange. I just put it away as fast as I can. There's a strange feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Barag,
What?
that's what she said. And I say that with a wink.
I think I just took psychic damage.
I turn around as fast as I can. All right, I think we have a meeting to get to. Daedalus, Father, are you gonna join us?
Oh yes, of course I am.
All right, so let's. I think it's time to get a move on.
What about Master Colt?
Oh yes, Cole. Would you like to stay or go?
I'd rather stay if you all don't mind.
Oh, I don't mind. Have fun.
Master Daedalus?
Don't go crazy.
Well, she wants me to come. I guess I don't know why, but
You're an entertainer. Be a jester for a day. I don't care.
Jester.
No
This is
jesters.
no jester. This is Daedalus Hartwell.
Please, I've had
Yeah.
enough of jesters
I
in the
have
last
doubly
few
enough of
weeks.
jesters.
I'm okay. Let's just get a move on.
Remember that real crazy one that keeps on showing up every now and again?
Yes. Your
the
friend?
clown.
Yeah.
Jesters are different than clowns, and I say, and I'm having this conversation as we're walking, like the difference between a jester and a clown.
Just
Cole, make a perception roll, Cole.
Oh, I see that before I leave. I make sure I dissipate the rest of the mage hands because they're still juggling over there.
Sure.
26.
26. All right. So, as part of your origin, you have bounty hunter. And as part of that, you have a network of informants in almost any city that you can access. In this particular instance, you do see a rather kind of ratty sort of human, not in any sort of armor or anything like that, kind of skulking about the Clamhammer. As he's young 20s, kind of like like he's attempting to grow a mustache, but it's not really working. It's like spotty.
Okay.
And smears of dirt on his face with dirty blonde hair as he's kind of like at the door of the Clamhammer. His hands are kind of like he's just kind of uncomfortably shifting as he's trying to get your attention.
Do I recognize him?
You've never seen him before.
So I.
But it's not uncommon in your line of work to have kind of anonymous informants and things like that.
Okay. So I sense that that's what's going on.
You sense he's trying to get your attention.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna grab like some sort of like rag or something like that from behind the bar, and I just walk around the bar and out the door where he's at, and I just start pretending to like kind of rub down one of the like nearby windows on the outside of the Clamhammer. Say, what brings you here?
So he's just kind of like, he's talking to you, and you get the impression that he does this for a living. Like, he's a professional informant. And he's kind of has his hand, his back leaning up against one of the posts as he's just kind of looking up at the sky, and he says, without making eye contact with you, I understand somebody from your past has made it back to Baldur's Gate.
That could be,
Many people I know, but this one in particular is important to you. 2 gold would really help a guy out with this particular piece of information.
About 4 gold, and you tell me everything you know.
It's a deal.
So I just, at that point, I kind of lose the facade, and I just walk over to him and hand him the
He's
money.
committed to the role. So he just kind of puts his hand out, and you put the 4 gold in his hand. He doesn't even look at it. He just kind of puts it in a pouch in his belt. There was a female tiefling that was reported in Baldur's Gate a couple days ago. She was asking about you, where you might be.
You're trying to find me, huh?
Yeah, skin like a human, not like red or blue. Beautiful she was. Carried unique arms.
I know the one.
Yeah. Well, apparently either you're hunting her or she's hunting you. But she's here.
Do you know where she might be now?
I don't know where she is now. I know she's in the city. I know that she found whatever she was looking for after the guild fell apart. She's protecting it. She thinks she's protecting it from you. I don't know what it is, but it's important.
She might be right. Thank you. If you find anything else out, at least you know where to find me.
Yep. And he just walks away.
She probably will soon enough, too. I just walk back inside.
Alright. So, Terra, Barag, and Daedalus, you head over to Uldar Ravenguard's manor. It's a hustle and bustle of activity. Dwarven activity, Fireforge, clan. But you go up to the door, and that one guard is there. And you see him arguing with 2 of the Flaming Fists mercenary guards, and you hear one of them, "She's a fucking duke! Why can't you get it through that thick dwarven fucking skull?" And then he kind of looks over and he goes, "Oh, fuck." And he just sees like all these dwarves kind of looking right in his direction as soon as he says it.
So, lad, come here a second.
So he walks over to you, a bit frustrated.
I know it's frustrating, lad. But listen, why don't you go get a drink? On me. Cool off. Don't need to cause a scene here.
Yeah, but you know who just came to this little meeting? Medlar Mallow
Son of a
and Judas Grouse,
son of a bitch.
touting their anti-Valor's Ransom rhetoric. You better get in there.
Will do. So I pass him a piece of platinum. Go get a drink now.
I'm on duty, but after I will.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. And you hear as the evening continues to progress, you hear skirmishes throughout the city every now and then. You'll hear something kind of fall to the ground, but there's with the amount of dwarves and everybody on high alert, there's almost no hope for these things. Once they land, they are skewered immediately. But you hand over the piece of platinum as he goes kind of back to his post, but he's really given that large dwarf the stink eye as he does.
So, I kind of lead Barag and his father up towards the front, and myself in the middle with Daedalus.
So the guard that dwarven guard kind of looks at you. And you hear Embarrass Harback. And the dwarf says, Embarrass, you were not summoned.
I'm a Duke of Baldur's Gate. It is imperative that I am in there.
I'm protecting my king.
No harm will come to him.
I know.
I will leave my weapons here if must, but it is imperative that I speak to the council.
As he looks at you, you kind of see almost like a sneer creep across his face, and he looks at Barag, and that sneer almost turns to rage as he's staring at your holy symbol.
Can I help you? You're staring.
You can take that pagan symbol off your chest, boy.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, but
It's more than, or maybe you forgot. Maybe you've been around these halflings and humans and whatever the hell a little too long. Maybe you forgot who you are. So you see Embarrass kind of starting to get angry.
well, I remember exactly who I am and my roots and everything, but I lost a friend, and I made him a promise, and that's why I wear this now.
Oh, you made him a promise, boy. And he kind of points at your holy symbol, but he does it aggressively and hard, and he kind of like pushes you when he does it.
So? You might not want to do that again. You won't face any rage from me, but... And I kind of just nod to Embarrass. He will get very mad. He's already getting mad. So... But... I won't make sure nothing bad happens, of course.
Take the symbol off, and I'll give you passage. Or continue down this road. Get it shoved up your ass. You decide.
You can try.
Relax, Daedalus. Be calm. Be calm. He's just...
Listen, boy. You need us far more than we need you.
Okay.
As he's talking to you, like, it's an uncomfortable amount of... You're like literally inches away from each other.
Yeah.
As you just see every muscle in his body tense. And he's just kind of waiting.
Well, if it gets me in, I guess.
That'll get you in. For now.
Well. So I
So quick to forsake another god.
Oh, I'm not forsaking, but
If it
this
were-
is more
If it
important
were me, I would have
than.
never fucking taken it off.
Well, this is more important to that we get into this meeting. But you know what? I won't give you the satisfaction then, and I put it back on. I'll let Embarrass handle this.
Morris knows better.
I will stay back here.
He'll get his fucking skull smashed.
Oh, well, I mean, you'll lose, the support of one of the other biggest clans.
Fuck the Ironhammers. And he says that and he's just staring right in your face as his eyes get big.
No need for language.
Fuck the Drax too.
Okay.
And you just see his arms just kind of like are tense.
What's wrong? You seem so uptight.
I don't like you.
That's so what? You don't have to like me.
I don't.
Yeah, feelings mutual.
Relax, Daedalus, relax.
So I kind of hold my hand up towards Daedalus.
You
Relax.
see kind of like there's now a growing crowd, and you see more than a few of the Iron Forges are kind of coming over with like their hands kind of like on their sword belts, on the hilts of their swords.
Oh, we beaten gods. What
Relax,
are you gonna do?
Daedalus. Silence. Daedalus. Just relax. Now, as you can tell, and I just point to the sky again, do you realize what is going on? And we're gonna just be at each other's throats. You want to kill each other when we're all gonna die. You want to die right now? Then go ahead, be at each other's throats. You're just gonna divide everything.
I'm not in anybody's
This is the
throat, boy.
mistake you're making.
I'm just guarding my king.
Oh, guarding your king. Yes, I
Aye.
understand that.
And as they're
Use your
arguing,
will.
you hear in the crowd, "Is that Daedalus Hartwell?" From one of the doors toward the back of the crowd.
Alright, well, I'm not going to argue with anymore because all you are is this tense stone wall, so
That's
no
true.
sense in arguing with you.
That's
That's
true.
all.
We both agree.
Aye, yes, and
And in my mind, I'm thinking he has the brains of one as well. I said in my mind. I did not say. I'm just thinking that he has the brains of a stone wall as
Sure.
well.
alright, no sense in arguing with you, whatever you want to do, but, you know, just gonna throw that out there that this is a huge mistake you're making. Because this is a time where,
Unlike you,
One's
I
bound
don't
to get-
forget my duty to my people or my clan.
oh,
I don't walk when it gets tough.
alright, you don't walk when it gets tough. I don't see you walking towards me.
That's right. I'm at my post, what I'm supposed to be.
Okay. And this is the Duke of Baldur's
I
Gate,
don't give a fuck.
and she's not in that
I
meeting.
don't give a fuck.
Then we'll demand words with the king, because this Duke is part of the planning and she has vital information to this
Sure.
meeting.
Sure.
And I think your king would like to see a seer stone.
Aye.
A seer stone.
Yes, sir.
You have no fucking seer stone.
Barag, show him.
So I.
There's only been one found in the Dwarven Kingdom.
Oh, well, that's the Dwarven Kingdom, which you don't adventure very far out of very often. So, before you just start
So you have a
speaking-
seer stone.
Yes.
Aye. I'll show you, but no touching.
Sure.
So I slide my pack around and I pull out the seer stone and I hold it right here in my hand.
You see this kind of this magic light just kind of illuminate, and you hear like muttering from the crowd of fire forges as they're kind of like in amazement and shock and awe. He's right. He's got a seer stone.
Indeed, we do.
Yeah. So it's interesting, but what does it have to do with this meeting?
We will probably be, or most likely, hopefully, try to use it to where we can find and pinpoint these locations. We can stop this sooner rather than later, so we don't lose any more dwarven blood,
Missy,
elven blood.
we know the locations. You follow the light.
Hmm.
You're not
Don't-
very smart for a duke.
No.
So I just sit there and I just kind of like breathe in and
Tell you what. I'll give you a passage for the seer stone.
I'm like,
And I put the seer stone back into the pack.
Right. Be off.
Alright. Like I said, you're making
Bugger
a big
off.
mistake.
Bugger off. Drak.
Well,
Ironhammer.
is there any way to, like, are there any windows and such?
A lot of windows.
Okay, and how many guards are posted around the?
You see
Yeah.
that the dwarves are setting up camp for the most part. There are the Flaming Fist mercenary guards over by every entry and exit point, including windows. But for the most part, the dwarves are setting up perimeters on the outside and things like that.
Okay.
So, as well as camp.
Barag,
No,
I would suggest you get to know your kin more.
I don't think I'm very welcomed amongst this kin.
You're not.
No, I feel like I wouldn't be.
Very accurate.
Aye, but Ironhammers and Drax will welcome you with kind arms. So.
Sure.
So,
They're clans anyway.
so as he's talking, I said, I don't mean that kin. And I kind of look towards towards like the port, the kin outside of this camp.
So you want me to, and also I'll lean in close and kind of whisper, you want me to bring the Ironhammers up here?
No. Go and stay with your clan, figure yourself out.
Oh, well.
My job as Duke of Baldur's Gate is to make sure our guests are accommodated for.
I think they're being well accommodated for, but they are disrespecting you.
They can disrespect me all they want, but what matters to me is my people. If that means I am spat on and spat out, so be it.
Don't worry, he'll learn his mistakes soon enough. And I'm just gonna leave the group and go back towards the Clamhammer.
All right. Frustrated by this wall of a dwarf who just is not budging. So what do you do?
I go like kind of like survey the area around.
Sure.
And I go towards like the back of the manor.
Okay.
Is there like a door like toward like maybe like where
The
the
mansion
kitchen
has a lot of
doors?
doors and windows. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go to one kind of like towards the back of the home. And I'm assuming there's a flaming fist guard there.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
So
Especially with royalty in the house.
okay. So I'm gonna go up. Well, hello there, lad. I think I'm supposed to be in a meeting of some sorts.
We heard the whole thing, so he takes his halberd and like lifts the window, and he's just kind of looking away.
Good job, lad. And so I kind of just slip him a platinum.
So he just kind of lowers the window and continues.
So I'm gonna attempt to climb and get through the window.
Sure. I would say you're not under. It's not combat.
Okay.
So you wouldn't even have to make the roll.
Jump there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just go in.
So I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna go in.
Okay. So you're in there. The house is bustling with activity, but nobody really seems to pay you much attention. But it does seem like in one of the main ballrooms, there seems to be extra tight security.
So I'm gonna go head towards the ballroom area.
Okay. You see a few of the Flaming Fists, but you also see some Fireforge guards, and one of the Flaming Fists recognizes you instantly. Hey, boss. You may want to get in on this, huh?
Absolutely. I've only been dying to come to these meetings.
Yeah, the guy outside's a bit of a dick, huh?
A bit.
Let me announce you. So he kind of slams open the door. Introducing Miss Terra fucking Highhill, Duke of Baldur's Gate. So
I walk on in and take, of course, my seat amongst the dukes.
So you see Uldar, Ravengard, and the rest of the dukes. You do see Judas Grouse, the gnome, nobleman. He thinks he's a nobleman. And you do also see Medlar Mallow. You do see Twinge Tinkertop. And Uldar is like, what took you?
The guard outside. I had to sneak in.
I hear he's a bit of a dick.
A bit?
I'm
But he's
glad
doing his job.
Glad you can make it.
Thank you, Uldar.
Where's the rest of Valor's Ransom? We
They
assumed
weren't.
that they would be here.
They aren't here. They are attending to matters around the city.
So you hear, and one of the flaming fists takes off.
So I kind of pay it no mind. And so, what are we discussing now?
So you see Judas Grouse, the gnome. We're discussing how this is probably all your fault.
So I hold my hand up. I'm not talking to you, gnome.
No, I'm talking to you.
Baldur, why do we even bother with this?
He's important. He's necessary.
I guess he's necessary in making him look like a
So
jackass
tell
in
me,
front of everyone.
How are you involved? I'm sure you are.
Right. You always assume we're the bad guy, but I assure you that in many ways we are not. In fact, we were trying to prevent this.
So the boisterous Smedlar Mallow chimes in. I seem to recall that Valor's Ransom is involved with most things that almost destroy Baldur's Gate. Why limit it to Baldur's Gate? He seems to almost like be addressing everybody else but you. Why limit it to Baldur's Gate? Why not take down the whole material plane while you're at it?
Right. Because I forgot you have saved townships. You have saved many regions up in the south. I forgot that you have saved the Ashbur Mooring, the Terranceby Village, the Lordwick Dales. I can go on. Have you fought gods before, dear?
Madam, I am not adept with a blade. I help as I can.
Well, you are not helping now by causing rift amongst our people.
So Uldar says, this is not making any headway. Terra, what do you know about what's happening?
Have any of you heard of an elder brain?
No, I've not. You see, most people have not.
This creature is able to manipulate minds. It is able to warp reality in and of itself.
So is this what did this?
Yes. We believe that it was doing a ritual in order to cause whatever this is.
What sort of ritual? Why isn't Daedalus Hartwell here?
Unfortunately, due to circumstances, the rest of Valor's Ransom was not allowed in. So we respected our Dwarven allies' wishes, and we respected the opinions of the many.
So the whole time, it's unnerving because the whole time, Ulfgar has not said a word. He's sitting in this very kind of palatial sort of chair, almost throne-like, and he's just kind of like listening with intent, but he hasn't said a single thing.
The thing is, how we ran upon this is we were seeking a seer stone, as many have.
Seer stone.
Yes. A stone that when you ask, I guess, a magical incantation, you're able to find what it is you are looking for.
We are familiar with the seer stone.
We have one in possession. It was what the Elder Brain was also guarding. I don't know if the seer stone has anything to do with this, but it's not a coincidence it was in that chamber where this creature was.
No, it allows the user to see things that are far off, possibly even the past or the future. Most times the present, so the legends go.
Well, we have one in our possession. I don't know if we can use it to combat whatever this is.
It's not a weapon.
It's true. But it may give us knowledge. Knowledge beyond any of us put here together.
So Uldar is listening to you, and as this is happening, you get a Flaming Fist mercenary guard at the Clamhammer. Out of breath, dripping sweat. You've been summoned to the meeting.
So,
Uldar Ravengard.
so are we all seeing?
Yeah.
The meeting we were unable to get into because of.
You'll have no problem getting in.
So I looked at Kohl real quick. I was like, "Can you get him a cup of water?" He looks,
I agree. I think a cup of water and a piece of gold is in.
Follow me, Valor's Ransom. No time.
Aye, well, make sure you get some water when we get back to
Aye.
wherever we're going. Doesn't matter.
Will do. As long as you guys stop whatever this is, I'll drink all the fucking water you want.
Well, of course, we're gonna do whatever we can to stop this, and hopefully all those dwarves will back us, if not some of them.
Aye. So he kind of like collapses in a chair.
So I quickly serve him up a mug of water and a mug of ale, and I just give him both.
So he takes off his city guard helmet. Thank you, Ravencrest.
Now, I suppose I no longer have a choice in this matter.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think he said Valor's Ransom, not Daedalus and Barag.
yeah, not Valor's Ransom minus Kohl.
Exactly. There's Valor's Ransom, and last time I think we talked about this, you said you're it. So, that includes you.
So I just kind of tighten my hood over my head and just tug on it and just walk out the door.
I'm just gonna follow suit.
Okay.
Time to go to a meeting, I guess.
So is
Lads.
that guard still gonna lead us back, or is he just gonna stay
No,
there?
he's drinking.
He's like, I'm done. I'm staying
Okay,
here.
well, I just told him, I was like, we're just gonna make our own way. Thank you for coming. Enjoy
Yes.
the drinks.
Alright.
Alright. So the three of you head out to the manor. It's not going to take you too long to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meanwhile, you're still at the meeting. So, Ulfgar is listening, but doesn't really seem to contribute much until he finally says, well, understand we are just passing through. You'll be compensated for supplies. We are heading to water deep.
So I've heard. We would appreciate your help here, Your Majesty.
Should we give it?
Well, besides Baldur's Gate owning one of the biggest ports,
The second biggest port. We're going to the first biggest port.
many townships close to Baldur's Gate have fallen.
Yeah, I'm aware. We've done what we can to help along the way. But we can't win this war for you.
And I'm not saying that you would be the sole people.
Let's talk about this Barag.
Yes, my compatriot. Or brother in arms, I guess you can say.
Mm-hmm.
What of him?
I understand he has forsaken the Dwarven god.
Yes, and that is his decision. Nobody forced him into it.
Mm-hmm. Why would he forsake Moradin for a human deity? Moradin has shepherded our people. Created our people.
Yes, I know much. But
Why does he wear the symbol of a human? And you see it's like, it's almost like bile in his mouth.
and I kind of get like a lump in my throat while saying what I'm going to say. And we knew somebody, or a brother of ours, had fallen and basically sacrificed himself to save us.
We know of his legend.
That
What
is
he did in the Crimson Sands is sung by bards. After all, they've got a giant fucking statue of him in the Merchant Quarter.
Rightfully so. It is why Barag chooses to. From what he tells me, he made a promise to a friend, a brother.
Mm-hmm.
And from what he has told me, a dwarf keeps his promise. And I have honored his decision. And so have the rest of Valor's Ransom.
Truth be told, we could have went around Baldur's Gate. But I am genuinely curious of this Barag Drak-Ironhammer, whatever he calls himself.
Last I heard it was Drak-Ironhammer.
So you hear Uldar. Your Majesty, I understand the complexities of Dwarven politics, but now is not the time for this. Is there a plan of action that Valor's Ransom has to combat whatever this is? Do we even know what this is? You said that there's a brain involved. Is it destroyed?
It has been destroyed, but the creatures... There might be more. This I'm not certain of. In reality, we just happened to find it when searching for this seer stone.
Okay. Alright, well, we don't know. We know why. We know kind of how. But we don't know what yet.
Exactly. That is what we need to figure out. We need an alliance or multiple alliances to make sure we can make and move forward with the plan of attack. We can't go in blindly. We went in blindly and I almost died.
Mm-hmm.
I can't afford to lose any more people, especially here at Baldur's Gate. It's my job. It's our job as dukes to ensure the lives of the people here. We can't go in this blindly, Baldur.
Understood. So, you guys do arrive, and you are led right into the meeting room.
Do we pass by the guard?
Yeah.
I just go like this. I just wave at him as we pass by.
He's stone-faced. He's just looking ahead. He almost looks past you with no regard until he sees Barag, and his eyes kind of meet.
I just nod my head and just keep walking.
Alright. So you get into the mansion, and you are led to the main hall room, which is almost like a command center. You see maps, and you see kind of like a giant map of where the Lorwick Dales is. You see kind of like an X on it. You see a lot of X's are being added. But you do see Ulfgar, you see the rest of the Dukes, you see Terra, you see Twinge, you see Medlar Mallow, and you also see Judas Grouse. And they all kind of look at the three of you as you kind of walk in. Ah, so there they are. Returning to the scene of the crime. No doubt.
I was like, look at them both like, who let in the peanut gallery?
Oh, Daedalus Hartwell. Such a sharp tongue today.
Yeah, they can go on forever.
Okay, enough bickering. You know, scene of the crime.
Terra Highhill was just explaining how this was all your fault.
Oh,
Our
Our
fault?
fault.
How is this our fault?
least we know
We're the
why.
ones doing something.
relax, Daedalus.
What do you guys do?
Calm,
Cower in a ale
Daedalus.
barrel somewhere, just like you did during the Night of Demons?
We survived.
Yeah, and
No
did not.
thanks to you.
Enough.
Actually, thanks to us, you survived.
Yeah, we tried. We went
we
out
were
and
the
saved
ones
the city.
fighting.
So I bang my hand on the table. Enough. This is enough arguing.
Aye.
People's lives are at stake here.
Agreed. What do you need from us? How do we stop this?
We need a plan of attack. We need allies. That is why we are all here, correct?
So Twinge kind of gets up and... you have the Seer Stone, yes?
Barag, the Seer Stone, please.
Aye. And it's like,
I kind of want people. Kind of shield your eyes. It's a bit bright.
and I pull out the seer stone.
And so Ulfgar kind of like, you see him like for the first time like straighten and kind of like lean forward as he kind of looks at it, with a weird combination of curiosity and desire. And you see him kind of like stroke his beard. So Twinge accepts the seer stone. Okay, Daedalus Hartwell. Let us see what we can see. Shall we?
So I look at the groups. I do want to see if it'll can show us.
If you can show us the future, then yes.
Show us.
Or something.
It'll show you what needs to be seen at the moment.
Do what you must,
So be
Daedalus.
So I hold out my hands in front of Barag so I can set it in.
Oh, I give it to Twinge.
Okay, so I need Kohl, I need Terra, and I need Barag to get the fuck out of here!
Ah. And I take my bird.
Alright, so I'll wait till you guys leave. Alright, so Twinge sits the seer stone in front of him and kind of sits on the floor Indian style, and you see him set up candles and incense. You see him take out a little vial of sea salt as he kind of makes a circle around both you and he. And he says, so I'll be the conduit, but you are familiar with magics, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Empty your mind.
So I completely stop. Pretty much just stop thinking about it. Anything.
Now I will see what you see. Okay?
Okay.
So he puts his tiny little gnomish hands on the seer stone, and you just see kind of like this magic energy kind of arc, almost like electric arcs, on his hand. And he says, place your hand on the stone.
So I do so.
And the same thing. And it's almost like your fingertips go completely numb as soon as your fingers touch the seer stone. And with both of you touching the seer stone, it's almost like nothing exists but you and Twinge. Everything is white around you. And your vision almost comes out of your body, almost like you're having an out-of-body experience. And quickly you're above the mansion, and you're veering through trees. You're almost on this invisible tether. You see this tether from the stone, and the tether leads somewhere, and you're following this tether, and you're seeing Baldur's Gate. You're above Baldur's Gate. You're seeing the Clamhammer, and you're seeing the port. You're seeing the Stabbin' Cabin, and you're seeing Danae Manor, and then you go outside of the city gates, above the wall, and beyond the wall for a few miles you go to an ancient castle that looks like it's been there for thousands of years. Outside of this castle you see at least a dozen dragonborn warriors, all standing at attention, looking toward the sky. And immediately you know that this is the estate of Lord Rodtail. And so you go up, continuing to follow this invisible tether that goes through this main. It would be a window if there were glass, but there's no glass. It's just an open space. And you go through this open space, and then you go down into this beautiful palatial mansion. it's not dilapidated or like many of the places that you've been that are this old. It's very well attended to and kept. But you see all manner of dragonborn, black scaled dragonborn, and there are dozens of them. And you go following this invisible tether down underneath, and you see Sarah, you see Bale, and you see Greer. They're all in a cell, and they are hugging each other. They look on the verge of crossing over to the hereafter. They are emaciated. They're thin. And you see Lord Rodtail just looking at them from the outside of a cage of bars, almost like a cell. Greer, his skin is very sallow, and for a dwarf, even as sickly as he is, you see like his beard is patchy, his hair is falling out. Bale has completely lost one of his arms. Sarah, her feathers are falling out of her body. She almost looks like a plucked chicken, if not for the black beak, which the tips have been broken off. You wouldn't even recognize her. And you just see Lord Rodtail kind of sipping a fine wine as he's just staring at them. And then almost very unexpectedly, you see a very, very attractive female tiefling with human skin tone, bearing 2 pistols and a very large gun on her back. And she whispers something that you can't hear to him. But you do have the observant feat, right?
Yes, I do.
So you are able to read her lips as through this vision, and you are able to know what she's saying without actually needing to hear what she's saying. And you see that she says, "Balor's ransom has returned. I think we should kill them. I have far too much to lose, and so do you." And then he kind of looks and he goes, "My dear, the sky is black. They have far more pressing concerns. I am not worried." So she goes, "I am worried. We both have far too much to lose." And then you're back in your body. Twinge almost gets blown to the other side of the room as when you come back into your body, your spirit form, it's almost violent. It's almost like you imagine that this is what a heart attack feels like. Your chest burns and you finally catch your breath again. And that is your vision. Alright, guys. Alright. So that's what you see. As now the complete white area now disappears and you're back in the meeting room. You see everybody kind of looking at you and Twinge as they kind of go into this trance around the seer stone. The seer stone gets so bright it's almost blinding. But a few minutes go by and Twinge gets blown to the other side of the room. You see Uldar go over to him and kind of assist him as a few of the guard go over there and kind of attend to him. And about a second later, you see Daedalus come back.
So I go by Daedalus and kind of like sit him up and
Just pouring sweat.
so I turn to Brog, a rag, water, someone water.
I pull out my alchemy jug and I just look at it and say water, and here you go, this should work.
So I'm like holding it, you know.
Maybe I'll just hold on to that. Let me help you, and I'll just start. Where's a rag? Someone give me a rag.
So you see somebody gets out like a cape.
Ah,
So
that works.
I just kind of like pat
I
Daedalus
soak
like
it with
along
water.
his head.
Sure.
You're all right, my dear.
I just let out like this huge breath.
Here,
What the
take-
hell happened?
Oh, remember our 3 friends?
Yeah.
I'm kind of saying this quietly just so she can hear. I was like, I know where they are.
Where are they here? Are they in Baldur's Gate?
No, they're beyond Baldur's Gate.
Beyond, I don't.
Yeah, I also saw they were in a cage though. They're not looking. They don't look very well at all. And there are two people with them. That remember that tiefling, the female one, the one with the guns.
Yes, her.
Yeah, and our old and I go pal, Lord Rodtail.
Rodtail? What the
Yeah.
hell is Rodtail? That son of a bitch.
And they're planning something, but they think we won't come after them because of, and I point up, that.
Oh, well, they got another fucking thing coming.
Unfortunately, I did not see anything that would help us with.
We'll find a way, Daedalus. Thank you. So I kind of just like.
So everybody in the room is intent as you two are kind of having this private conversation. Riel is. So what is happening?
It's much bigger than we thought.
The darkened sky? Is that what you're talking about?
It goes beyond the material plane. It goes to almost like another dimension, another gateway into the beyond.
What does that mean?
In order for us to fight the root of the problem, we need to get, and I point up there.
Up where?
And so I look outside. Each portal leads to this plane of existence. The people behind this exist beyond that plane.
So you see kind of twinge regaining his bearings, and he says, I don't think that's how that works, young miss. They're not portals. They're anchors. They're pulling something here.
So I looked up, was like, do you think we should like send like armies, parts of armies to these different spots to make sure that whatever comes through?
Reports that we've received is that activity is heaviest at the anchors. Army, even this Dwarven army, won't survive long at an anchor.
Now, these anchors are pulling something in, you say. They've been attached.
Yes.
It seems to me that this started once a certain number of these anchors were attached. If any one of them were detached
Disrupted?
or disrupted, might it reverse this process?
In theory, it could stop it. Not permanently. There's nothing from stopping another anchor from being deployed.
But what about they're all pointing to one direction.
They're pointing to one direction, correct. Every dimension is separated by something called the veil. Something's being pulled through from somewhere else. We don't really know what.
I'm going based off of theory, but if this thing is coming through, I have a feeling it's coming through those where that pinpoint is.
Absolutely. That is not theory, that is a fact.
We need to central our armies. We need all hands on deck from the material plane we need to get there.
So, we've got another problem. Uldar, I believe Lord Rodtail was summoned to this meeting, and he said he couldn't. And so Uldar says, yes, he said he was safeguarding his own people. Whatever that means. He's kind of an eclectic sort of very rich noble. But yeah, yeah. So he says, I don't believe he's involved with what's happening. I think he's just as confused, but he is not a friend to us, that I know. He's hurting people. Daedalus.
Yes, the 3 of our friends that disappeared on the Night of Demons. He has them imprisoned far underneath his castle. And a certain tiefling was there too, and I look at Kohl.
We have to find as much as our friends mean to us, and maybe this is all connected somehow. We have to destroy these anchors. All of the material plane is at risk.
The Omnium Continuum, my dear, is doing their best along with the Council of Zazerth to find an answer to the anchors. We need more information, however. Information we just don't have.
Will the Seer Stone be able to help with any more information other than what it is given?
We can take it to the Council, but the Seer Stone is more of a precise instrument.
It may be that we just need more time.
We don't have time. Time is not on our side. We need allies. And I look over to Ulfgar. We need dwarves. We need elves. Dare I say, we need halflings.
But then, if we had them all in one room, what do we do with them? We don't know. That's the question, and I believe that's what Omnium Continuum and the Council are attempting to find out. It may be that they need more time to discover that answer.
The Lord Dales needed more time.
We can only do with what we have. We have a Seer Stone, and we will research it and see if there's a answer to these anchors, something that we can do to disrupt it, destroy them.
Is there anything that you would need? I mean, we have beholder eyes. Other magical items.
I don't know that would help us. Believe it or not, the Omnium Continuum has a lot of magic at its disposal. We'd be more than happy to take a look at whatever else you might have in your possession that could help us. But right now, I think we need manpower.
I agree. We need an alliance.
So you see Ulfgar kind of sit back in his throne. Alliance. Not as long as this dwarf is seated in the throne. You will have to fend for yourselves, as we dwarves have done for thousands of years, with no help from humans, or tieflings, or elves.
Like you would have accepted the help anyways. Too noble and proud for that.
Oh,
Are you, dwarf?
you say that with such disdain on your tongue, dwarf. I must kill you. Don't think I don't know what you're up to. You're trying to take the seat of power. Is that right? Dwarven politics and all that?
No dwarven politics.
I'll be more than happy to accommodate you. I haven't had a challenger in quite some time.
Oh, well. I'm not one to take so quick to violence anymore. I like to utilize other paths before that path. Last resort.
Spineless. Just like a drac.
I may be spineless, but at least I fight with something more than just my sword.
Well, swords have done us just fine.
Aye, is that
I mean-
why you just hide in your kingdom?
Well, you are asking for our help, are you not? We're not
Oh,
needing-
well. Either way, the world's gonna perish, I guess. You're thinking that. I guess, you know.
So he kind of gets up,
With or without your help.
and he kind of straightens up his kind of fur cape. And he looks at you. We're done here. We'll leave in the morning.
Wow.
I turn to Barag, very frantic in my eyes.
I wish you would rethink your options, because together we are stronger than we are divided. Just
So
trying to find out what these anchors are. It's our highest priority.
I take a step forward at that point and kind of drop my hood for the first time since I've been there. And I address the king and I say, now, I don't presume to know much about Dwarven politics. You must understand, it's clear that we have many differences, but it seems that, at least for the time being, we have a common enemy. Is it not in your interest in...
What enemy? Show me the enemy so I can stick my blade in him.
Well,
The sky is dark and that's all we know.
yes, but it seems
I don't
that
know.
something is coming.
Zondra's like, well, the Lorweg Dales didn't take itself out.
I know this much, that there is a reason you traveled outside of your kingdom. I know that it must not be a decision you took lightly.
True.
So you must sense that there's something going on.
Indeed.
Now again, we have differences, but it seems we have some sort of common enemy, even if we don't have a name for it yet. Is it not in your interest and perhaps even your responsibility to ensure the survival of your people?
It is. But more importantly, the survival of my lineage.
Indeed. And that would be included in this unfortunate scenario.
My lineage will continue to sit on this throne.
Again,
That's most important to me.
Not if they're all dead.
it seems that the political answers could be sorted out after we address the threat to our survival. It seems like it's a moot point if we all
When
perish.
there's a real tangible threat, talk to me then.
Might be too late by then.
Might not. Far too much conjecture.
No. I only wish the best for every person, dwarf or not, still alive.
I do too.
It just seems that you're rolling the dice on Waterdeep. I think your best
Waterdeep-
option is to...
Waterdeep has many catacombs. Some are rumored to go all the way up to Delzoun.
What if this thing follows you there?
We'll hide underground. We'll wait.
These things that fall from the sky are attracted to life. You really think that they won't sense the living even underground?
We'll be-
We've seen them.
We'll be
They were-
fine.
They were underground. Their origin is from underground, deep below us. And there's not just 10, 20, not even 100. Thousands and thousands of these creatures can spawn up at any point. And if you think that going underground is going to help you, that is their origin.
Young miss, I will not spill a drop of dwarven blood for a human, a halfling, an elf, or anybody in between. That is my final decree. And until the throne changes hands, that's how it's going to be. We leave in the morning.
So at this point, I kind of stand more erect. I will speak on behalf of the Drak-Ironhammer clans then.
Speak.
You are making a grave mistake on behalf of
It is
the
mine to
Dwarven
make.
people.
It is mine to make. You have forsaken your people.
All I've done is try to help
Really?
the world.
The world or yourself?
The world. I'm not in it for money. We've defeated a god
You're
that
not
could
in
have
it for-
destroyed this world.
You're
and
not
you
in it for
along with
dwarven
it.
kind either.
The reason I do what I do is because I want to see my people prosper
So do I.
and live. And under your rule, they will not. They will perish with this world.
So you see him slowly unsheath his sword as everybody now stands to, like, the ready as he points it. Be careful of your next words, Drak.
Drak-Ironhammer.
He's still pointing the blade right at your neck.
Is Embarrass here? He's not, right?
No.
He's not here. I guess I have to make a choice then of where my allegiance lies.
I suppose you do, but it's pretty evident. So he kind of takes the tip of the sword and like he motions to your symbol, your holy symbol.
I had to make some sacrifices.
We all make them.
Obviously not.
How dare you?
Because whose words were just said you wouldn't drop any dwarven blood for a halfling, an elf, a tiefling, or a human.
I stand by those words.
So obviously you are not ready to make any sacrifices.
My people are not fuel for the machine.
And neither are ours.
This conversation is over.
It is not over.
So he turns around and walks out as Uldar is like wide-eyed, like what the fuck just happened. Even Riel is like, she's looking at Uldar and Twinge is kind of like he's running his fingers through his hair and very confused. You can sense panic in the room from everybody who isn't a dwarf, as some of the Fireforge clan that are accompanying Ulfgar, his wife, walks out with him. You'll be compensated for your time. Goodbye. So what do you guys do?
I did what I could, Terra. But
You've doomed us all, Barag.
what did you want me to do? Fight him to the death?
So I hold my hand up.
Is that what you would want?
That's the only way to change his mind, is if he tries and takes the throne, and that was it. So it's
And
either
Barag.
you've forbidden me from doing that, so...
Barag, I have to go attend to my people.
Yes, you doomed your people because you said you're the one who didn't want me to fight.
You're right, I didn't want you to.
And that was a grave mistake. I did what I could.
But did you? You have to follow what is in your heart.
you
Hestia's
tried.
light will guide you. Just think about that for a second. Maybe go to the temple sometime.
Yeah, I don't think the dwarves care about Hestia's light.
Alright.
That's not their god.
Do
So-
I know I'm not a magic user, but do I get the sense that the dwarves have traveled with any magic users, or that, like, more specifically, that there are any in this room with us?
Make either perception roll or arcana roll, whatever you have proficiency in.
Perception.
Okay.
12.
12. For the most part, it seems to be a military movement. There's a lot of armor, a lot of swords, spears, shields. You do know that dwarves have magic users, but you haven't seen any.
Okay. And the king just exited the room?
Yeah, with his wife.
Did he go out the way we came in?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to cast invisibility,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna keep a distance but stay within earshot, and I'm gonna just follow them out of the room
Okay.
and see if I pick up on any conversation.
Okay. So as soon as he leaves the room, you cast your invisibility and you disappear, almost creating kind of like a shimmer of your outline as you kind of move with him. Okay. So he rolled high on his perception. So like he stops for a second and he just kind of like looks, but doesn't see anything, and he keeps going. And as he leaves the main entrance of the building, of the mansion, you see him kind of motion to Harback, who's that very large dwarf, tattooed dwarf, and he just kind of motions him to follow, and they head over to the Fireforge camp in front of the manor. And you just hear him talk to Harback. We'll be proceeding to Waterdeep as planned. Tell the men to move in the morning. Arrange for a chest of gold to be left here for Uldar. And we need to leave quickly. I was hoping for a better result. However, maybe next time.
So I step away, just go back the way I came, and back into the room, and appear like more or less where I had originally disappeared.
Sure.
And I approach the
So
rest-
when do you drop invisibility is my question.
when I'm in the same spot where I first cast it in the room.
Alright.
Just in front of the king, just like, ha! Surprise!
So, yeah. So Uldar, who has seen you do this a couple of times,
Yeah.
when Embarrass's head was in the news,
Mhm.
like you suddenly reappear and he goes, like you see him, like you startle him.
I just give him a quick nod, and I approach the rest of the group.
Don't fucking do that again.
It has its uses. And I pull my hood back up over my head.
Where did you go?
Not far. And, well...
You didn't kill anybody, did you?
No,
Okay.
not this time.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I had the time to, but didn't encounter anybody I wished to kill, so...
Okay.
Well, frankly, I thought he might be bluffing, but it seems that the king is true in his intention to leave. He did say he'd wished for a better outcome, so perhaps there's...
What did he initially plan when he arrived, I guess, would be the real question.
Barag.
True.
He wants Barag. Barag, according to him, in Bars, he holds the legitimacy for the Dwarven kingdom. He has royal blood. He wanted Barag to forsake his claim to the throne. Without that, he can do as he please. The Fireforge wants their lineage to stay on the throne.
So you believe that this was all a ruse to just secure his future generations on the throne?
Absolutely. He said it himself. He doesn't care about us. He cares about his lineage. He can give damn to the Draks, the Ironhammers, any clan of dwarf that isn't his.
So what do we do now? We're stuck in this situation. We can't let them leave, but they would just roll right over us if we attempted to stop them. That much is clear.
There's one thing that he wants, and I'm not going to ask him to do it. But
What does he want?
And I turn to Brog. He wants him.
So Uldar, you see him kind of just stop, and this is all unusual. Is this how it works in Delzoun?
Unfortunately, dwarven politics is Either you have a legit claim to the throne, or you kill the current.
So Riel, the other duke, that is how it works in Delzoun.
Aye. I think the other choice is if I unite Drak and Ironhammer clans.
They're leaving in the morning. We don't have time for this.
What time is it,
You're
by
gonna-
the way, at this point?
It's late now.
Late?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to make a choice, Barag. Either you take your claim to the throne, or you forsake your name. You forsake the Draks, and you forsake Ironhammer. You forsake your claim as a dwarf. That is what he says. You have to make a decision by tonight, or else in the morning.
Even if I forsake the names, doesn't mean he's gonna stay and help us. He could just be lying.
And that's a risk you're willing to take. These are thousands of people. Women, children, men. Our men. You saw what the Night of Demons did.
I saw that. But you're not understanding. If I take this risk and I forsake my name, which I am more than willing to do, but I am worried that the risk is too high if I do it and he still doesn't stay.
Even if it's... Let's play devil's advocate here. Even if you say, I forsake any claim to the throne,
Exactly.
you are still... You have royal blood in you.
What does
You
that-
are still always going to be a shadow.
He will try to kill you at some point, Barag. You may not have a choice. I'll do everything in my power to help, but ultimately this is your decision. You were a general. What does your general brain and your Hestia heart tell you?
I have to do what I have to do to ensure the survival of everyone. If blood must be spilled.
So what are we talking? You're gonna kill the king of the dwarves? That's not what we're saying, are we?
Dwarven politics.
Dwarven politics.
I'm not familiar with ancient dwarven law, but this sounds barbaric.
Well,
For the good of the people. What must be done must be done.
So what do? You just hit him with a glove and say, I challenge you to a duel? Is that how it works?
In lamest terms, I challenge him. Fight to the death for the throne.
Somebody get this man a glove.
somebody get this man in armor. We're going to need our best fighter.
Make a history check with advantage.
Oh shit. Dude, my stomach is going south right now.
So you definitely, you know, traditionally, when dwarves fight, it's hand to hand. There's no weapons. There's no armor, and it's brutal. It's just bare skin, knuckle and bone, until you beat your opponent to death with your bare hands.
Yeah. So I kind of I tell everybody, this is going to require the skill of just bare knuckles. No armor, no weapons. Just, and I hold up my fists, these bare hands against him.
That sounds brutal.
The Dwarven way.
Do we have any
History.
other allies? The elves?
We've got feelers out to every major army in the material plane. The problem is that everybody is in need of help at the same time.
So we have no guarantee.
No, we don't.
This is your decision, Barag.
This is the decision I'm willing to make, and like I said, last resort, blood must be spilled. There is no guarantee. The risk is too great if I just forsake my name. He's still gonna have my head on a pike at the end of the day. Whether I forsake my name or not.
We don't know unless we try. I'm not willing to watch you die for a fucking throne that you don't even want.
If it means we save the people, then it is a sacrifice I need to make.
So I look him in the eyes and I'm like, you're making this too complicated for me, you idiot.
Complicated? I'm making it real simple. And I hold up my fists. This is what this is gonna end in. Right here. I'm making it very simple for you. For the people.
So I kind of like hold his beefy hands in my small little hands, and I just kind of hug him as tight as I can, and with a tear going down my... I'm not losing another brother. Please don't do this.
Don't worry. And I kind of just hug her back, and if everything goes according to plan, which it will, this is it. I have to do this. If we want to save everybody on the material plane, sacrifices have to be made.
Love you, you stupid idiot.
Valor's Ransom are all about plans.
I tried everything I could to talk him out of it.
So what do
And
you do?
So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna just look at everybody in the room and I need to go find it.
All eyes right now are on you.
I would love to stay around and say goodbyes and chat, but destiny awaits. I have a fight to attend.
Alright. So what do you do?
So I'm going to exit the hall,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna say, Daedalus, Terra, Kohl, pray to Hestia that this all goes according to plan. And I'm just gonna turn and walk out and go and find Ulfgar, the king.
It's not hard to find. He's
Yeah.
right outside the main manor, and you do see Harback is kind of like a shadow
Yeah.
with Ulfgar, and he kind of like sees you. Actually, let me make a perception roll. Yes, he does. He sees you actually approaching, and he kind of, Your Highness, this Drak is approaching. So you see Ulfgar turn around. What are you doing here, boy? You're in the Fireforge camp. Draks are over there. Ironhammers are over there.
Well, I've come to challenge you.
You've come to invoke the old ways. The
Aye.
Dwarven ways.
You wanted the Dwarven way, you're gonna have the Dwarven way.
Seems to me it's been a long time since you've been a dwarf. However, I will make this concession for you. Sure, I accept your challenge. And the man that's going to represent the Fireforge clan is Harback.
I'm here to challenge you for the
Challenge
throne.
accepted. Harback is my intermediary. He will represent Fireforge. So Harback just kind of looks at you. Ooh, I've been waiting for this for a long time.
Oh, well,
Drak-Ironhammer.
I only just met you, but I'm already ready to wipe that smug smile off your face.
I know you're
if
a
you
fan
want to go this
deep
way.
inside. Let's get to it then. So he starts taking off his armor. Until he's just in his skivvies, his loincloth.
Alright.
Time to get naked so you can get dead.
Well, I came in this way, I might as well go out this way, and so I start taking off my armor.
True enough. So as you do that, you see everybody like picking up the camp and literally creating almost like a fighting pit of sorts. So let me get the fighting pit.
Oh.
Ah!
That's right.
All right. right, so you see now all of the dwarves in the camp are now kind of surrounding you and Harback. As the war drums start to commence, you guys inside the mansion hear the same war drums that you heard upon their approach to Baldur's Gate. You hear it outside. And you hear some of the Flaming Fists, yelling, "Fight, fight!" And you just hear everybody kind of dashing toward the front of the manor in a hurried fashion.
So I pull one of the Flaming Fist guards, run to the Drak camp and to the what is it? The Ironhammer clan. Let them know what is going on now.
Yes, ma'am. So he takes off. So there you are, and you are kind of facing off with Harback, and King Fireforge raises his hand as Uldar is now out there. He raises his hand and he says, "As is tradition in our most ancient ways, you must declare a house whose name you fight under."
Aye.
Who do you fight for, Drak or Ironhammer?
It can't be both.
As you say that, you see your mother. In the crowd. Yes, sir.
Do I see both of my fathers as well there?
You only see your mother.
Mother.
Your Embarrass is at the Clamhammer, so
Yeah.
he'll probably be here in a while, but the only person that you see from either clan is just your mother, Diessa Drak.
I kind of take a deep breath, kind of close my eyes, and say a prayer to Hestia, and I fight for Clan Drak.
So you hear some oohs in the crowd as your mother kind of balls her kind of fists up to her chest, visibly worried, concerned. So let's roll initiative. Let's roll some initiative.
First.
Doesn't matter whether first or not. As long
Think about it, we're all still inside.
I'd like to make my way to the edge of the.
Yeah.
Find a spot at the edge of their circle there.
I'm gonna follow.
Ooh.
But before I do, I look at Terra. It's like, are you gonna want to see this or no?
I'm going to do this.
What'd you roll?
Modify 20.
Woo! 8. Alright. So there's Barag in his basically a loincloth, nothing but his fists, standing in front of this hulking dwarf, a full foot taller than Barag. Wide, just full of muscles and tattoos and piercings, and you see his fists balled up. You get to go.
Before he goes, I yell as loud as I can, "You better come back to us, you son of a bitch!"
And I kind of just crack my knuckles and peek my head. I'm planning on it. And
Jackass!
And I also shout, remember, bigger isn't always better, and I point to that guy. I point to his opponent.
Can you put the speaker on?
Oh, yes.
It shut off for some.
Hey, if I could do vicious mockery, but that'd be interfering. I would viciously mock him all day.
Alright.
I mock you! All right.
I'm not doing this.
By the way, not a moment too soon that I took the 11th class in fighter, so now
3 attacks. Nice.
no, it's 3 at 11.
3.
But I have my action surge,
Yeah.
Oh,
which
Jesus.
would be 4, but I'm gonna save that
Yeah.
until I absolutely need it.
All right. So
Um,
you're go.
So I was like pretty much right in front of him, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys are standing nose to nose.
Okay.
There's no running. There's no shots from the distance.
How very rocky.
It's just gonna be a bloody fisticuff.
Good old fashioned fight to the death.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Alright. So I'm gonna make my first attack against him. So I count for his strength, so my mods and all that, right?
Yeah.
Still, okay.
It's gonna be your roll plus. You are considered proficient in any unarmed melee.
Huh.
So
So-
plus your strength modifier.
So that would be 24.
24 hits. So you do 1 plus your strength modifier.
So 1 plus my strength mod. 1.
What's your strength mod?
Oh, my strength mod is 5.
5. So you do a total of 6 damage.
Oh, I don't roll
Nope.
damage die or nothing?
Not for
Okay.
unarmed combat.
Ah,
So
okay.
you reach back, you crack him in the jaw, and you see like his head turn as he spits out a tooth. You get to go again.
And I'm like, oh boy, wouldn't want to pay his dental bills.
He's gonna have no teeth.
So I
I'm
kind
not
of like
done
stick
with
my
him.
fist out to Daedalus.
Well, I was like, don't worry, I'm gonna be planning on this guy all match.
So 18.
18, unfortunately, misses.
Man, his armor class is higher. Good to know.
All right.
My last attack. You know what? Instead of attacking him, I'm actually going to grapple him.
Okay. So
Gonna
that's
grapple him.
that's still a regular attack roll. So go ahead and roll your attack.
Well, I take the book
No?
I rolled a 3.
All right. So you try to grapple him, and he quickly evades your attack. Now it's his turn. So he is going to do. Attack is. $21?
To hit?
Yeah.
Yeah, without armor, I'm 14 armor class.
Alright. So quickly he gives you an uppercut to the gut as you try to grapple and he evades. He just hits you right in the breadbasket for 6 points of damage. And he's going to take 15, 16?
To hit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he actually takes a bite out of your ear. Very, very Tyson style. He takes a chunk out of your ear and he spits it out for another 6 points of damage for a total of 12 points.
Okay.
Alright, and so this is gonna actually end his turn.
I have 100.
when I see it bite the air, I'm like, boo.
Yeah.
I just yell boo down.
Your turn.
Okay. So I will. Of course, I'm gonna make another grapple.
Go for it.
Natural 19.
19 does hit.
Sweet. Okay. So
Push the guy off by heckling him from the
grapple
sidelines.
him,
Pull a Spider-Man.
and then gonna use. So I'm gonna, cause it says here, cause I have grappler.
Right.
With that feat. So I have advantage on attack rolls against the creature I'm grappling.
Yeah.
So okay, so I'm gonna attack him then. Oh yeah, 22.
22 hits. So you're gonna do 6 points of damage.
Is he considered prone if he's grappled?
No,
No.
it just means that.
Oh.
He's grappled.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my action now to try and pin him. And I'm going to make another grapple check to do that.
Okay, go for it. This is contested, yes?
It just says I can use my action to try to pin a creature grappled by me to do so. I just make another grapple check. If I succeed, me and the creature are both restrained until the grapple ends.
Okay.
Natural 16.
Natural 16.
Plus my 9.
Okay, so you pin him to the ground he's face down in the dirt, and now as you have him and you're kind of on top of him, exerting all of your strength and your mass on him. But he's going to try to escape. Let's make this contested. So this is going to be 14. No, it's going to be 29.
Oh.
I
That's
got
a strength check.
Dang, I got a P 29. Jesus Christ. I need a natural 20.
Halfling lock.
You're not in combat though.
No, but it doesn't count
But
for
she's
combat.
in-
I have to be in with the vicinity.
Yeah, she's in the crowd.
Okay,
She's,
alright.
she's next to me.
Thank
Don't
God
worry,
for
I've
that.
already thought this through.
Exerting all options right now.
I'll let it slide this time.
Nah, I didn't make it. I made
No?
25.
Okay, so quickly he escapes. That is his first attack. He gets extra attack. He is actually going to rage for the second attack, and that's actually going to end his turn.
Okay.
So your turn.
Alright.
Ooh, is he like? So he must be a he's a barbarian.
That's why his defense is so high.
Yeah.
Without armor.
I was trying to figure that out in my head. I'm like,
Unarmored defense.
yeah.
I kind of had a feeling with the tattoos, but I didn't want to be like.
Oh, he's a barbarian dwarf. I'm going to grapple him again.
He's really strong, but dumber than the second.
You just see, like, he's now foaming at the mouth. You just see this rage in his eyes.
I'm going to use one of my last 2 inspirations. For that roll, I rolled 3. And
I'm using the same dice.
so I'm going to... I didn't make it. I'm just going to make 2 regular attacks now.
Okay.
Didn't make that either. I'm rolling crappy so far. Nah, I didn't
No.
make that either.
So 3 swings and a miss?
Yep.
Okay, alright. So you just see kind of like the veins pop out of his neck as his eyes get red, and he just goes, "Come on, Drac! Come on, do better than that! I beg you!" And he just, 14
Just makes it. Just makes
out of
it.
4. Alright, so that is 1 hit. As he
6.
cracks you right in your jaw. This is a headbutt, another 4.
Minus another 6.
And for his bonus action, since he's in frenzy, he gets to make a melee attack for his bonus action.
Okay.
So he's going to make a 3rd melee attack. 19. Hits, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so all 3. A left, a right, and then the 3rd one is a headbutt. Right to your nose.
Ouch. Alright.
As he now, I think he's going to try to circle. No, he's going to go this way. It's his movement. Alright, so your turn.
I'm going to attack. Oh yeah, natural 16 plus 9.
That's a hit.
I'm
So that's 6 points of damage.
Yeah.
So your next attack.
Going to attempt another grapple.
Go for it.
Natural 2.
So he sees you coming for a grapple, and he just kind of grabs your wrist and moves you out of the way.
And this is going to be a standard attack.
Go for it.
21.
21 hits.
Sweet. Works for me. And as a bonus action, I'm going to second win.
Wow. Hitting that second win early, huh?
Alright, better safe than sorry.
All right.
Yeah, let me just make sure I can bonus action that right. Yeah, we did 1d10 plus my fighter level,
All right.
which is 11 now. So 1d10.
Okay.
Come on, give me a 10. 10! Woo! 21!
So you will.
Oh my god, he's back full.
I'm pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm back at full health.
That's crazy.
Oh my god. Yes.
All right. So he sees you kind of gain a little bit of vigor as you're hitting him with a left and a right. So he is going to play a little bit of your game. He's going to grapple you. Oof, 24.
Oh yeah, of course.
All right. So this is for his second attack is going to be he's going to use the stone right behind him, and he's essentially going to use you as a battering ram into that stone.
Okay.
So,
Ouchie.
cock die. Oof. That is 28 or no 26.
Yeah.
Okay, and 20 modified.
Okay.
So because he's using the stone,
Yeah.
it's going to be an additional D6 on top of the 6. So reroll those. One
Yes.
and a 3.
Okay.
So you take 12 plus 1 plus 2.
Okay.
So 16 total.
Okay.
So as he takes you by essentially your head, he grapples you by your head and he smashes your face twice into the stone. You see kind of like this blood smear on the stone as he drags your face down it. But it is your turn.
He wants to play this game. Oh, okay. Am I still grappled by him?
You're still considered grappled, so you would have to escape.
Okay. So I will attempt to escape the grapple first.
Make this a contested strength check. Sucks.
Modified 20.
You win. So you manage to break his grapple.
And I will grapple him back, actually. Turn around and grapple him.
It's like a Greco-Roman wrestling event.
Yeah, right? 21.
21 hits. So
Okay.
you go ahead, you do grapple him.
And then so I'm gonna, when I grapple him, I'm gonna grab him by the head of his hair and just like, we can play this game, and I'm gonna smash his face into the rock.
Go for it.
Choose wisely here. Yes, I think I just make it 20.
20 does hit. Yes. So that is 6 points plus an additional D6 of damage. So roll your D6.
Awesome. Come on. A 2.
2. Okay. So a total of 8.
Yeah.
As you take him, you smash him right into the to the stone. You see a crack in the stone right where his head hit. He is going to break your grapple.
I was like, you used to know his head was that hard.
Contested, right?
Contested.
Okay.
So 14 modified.
A natural 15.
All right. So you still have him in a grapple. So he is still going to make an attack, but he makes him at disadvantage.
Okay.
Because he is in a grapple. So he's going to go ahead and make. He misses the first one. And he's going to make a second attack at disadvantage. The second one hits, so 19 modified.
Okay.
So he tried to escape. You manage to keep on him, and he's flailing his arms, You one kind of glances off your shoulder, but he hits you in the neck with the bonus action.
Yeah.
But you still have him in a grapple, and it is your turn.
Perfect. And you know what sucks? I totally forgot to roll advantage on that because I had advantage on grapple when I tackle.
Yeah.
I forgot to do that. But now I will do that.
Go for it.
So I'm gonna attack him again. I'm gonna smash his face into the rock.
Go for it.
Repeatedly 3 times.
Oh god.
It's like 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, natural 14 plus 9.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna roll for second attack.
Okay.
Natural 16 plus 9.
That's a hit.
First two are hits. Here comes number 3. Natural 19, which guess what that is?
It's a crit, right?
Woo, double
Alright.
damage.
That is a crit, so
Not to
that
mention
is...
a d6 per each of those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so,
go ahead and roll 3d6s.
3d6s.
Actually, roll 4d6s, since one is a crit.
A crit.
And
Okay.
the d6 is the only die that you're rolling on this, so.
Thank God, that makes that easy. Oh shit! I rolled 3 6s and a 4.
That is insane.
Oh my god!
Nice.
That is insane.
So
3 6s and a 4?
yeah, 3 6s and a 4 plus 3 6s. Right?
22 plus 3 6. Yeah, so.
Oh my
do that
god!
You just missed it. He rolled.
One.
He smacked him into the
Plus
stone
3 6s.
3 times, and he rolled 3 6s and a 4 for those 3.
Jesus.
And he crit on the last hit. So
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
lord.
Oh my god! I just did 40 points of damage.
I
That's
can
crazy.
This is something like I could see in an anime, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, so as soon as you hit him, you have him grappled 3 times, you hit his head against the stone. The 3rd time, his eye pops out of his socket. And you see it just stuck in the stone as he pulls his head out. You just see the optic nerve still kind of attached, and then it just snaps as the eyeball is still stuck into the stone. You hit him so hard. And now it's his turn, so he's going to try to break the grapple.
Okay. Dude.
Contested. So modified 15.
Okay. Natural 14 plus. Yeah.
Okay. So he's gonna make. He's gonna try another escape. The second one.
Alright.
So 17 modified.
Come on, baby. Nah, natural 5. That's my net.
So 14.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, he actually won. So he escaped. So as his bonus, he is going to kick you right. Right.
Yeah. Kind
in the baby factory. Ready? Woo! That's a 27 to hit.
Oh yeah. So minus 6, right?
yeah,
Yes,
just
just minus 6.
But dude, you're now like probably leagues above him.
I don't.
All right.
We don't know that. He is a
So
barbarian.
it is your turn. He is no longer grappled.
Okay. So first, I'm gonna lead off with is a grapple.
Yeah. So you just see blood just streaming out of his face. Even some of the Fireforge clan, the rest of you see they're nervous. They're uncomfortable.
Sorry.
They are on the precipice of possibly losing a king. And you see the 3 of you who aren't involved in the fight, make a perception roll.
14,
13.
17.
So you see the king whisper something to his wife. You have the observant feat, right? You got to remember that. I'm not going to remind you anymore.
Yes, I do have observant. I gotta remember that I have that because I just recently got it.
But I'm not going to remind you anymore because twice I've reminded you. So you can read his lips with the observant feat, and you hear him, or you see him say, "Prepare the men to attack."
Well, as I lean over to Terra, I just read his lips. The king's lips. He just said to his wife, "Prepared the men to attack." He's meaning to interfere.
So
We should not let him.
Tell
Alright.
Lord, I tell him get the flaming fists around the inside of the match. They're gonna try and attack. The king said so himself.
Yeah. Is this part of Dwarven lore? I don't know what's going on.
They're gonna try and attack the Rog. They're gonna try and kill him right now. Protect.
I'll do my best.
Let him do his fight, but protect the match.
Okay. Okay. We can't let this match be interfered with. Fine.
So,
Hurry.
And I I kind of jab at Terra. I was like, we should get around to the king's side. If he's gonna go through anyway, he's gonna go through us.
So I'm gonna roll for stealth. Natural 15 plus 9.
Alright. 24.
So I'm gonna make my way to where I'm basically right.
Okay. So you put your hood over, and then effectively, like 1 minute she's there, and 1 minute she's gone. All right. So, Cole or Barag.
Alright, I think it was still the first round for me, first thing, which
Yes,
is grapple,
yes.
so... Nah, I didn't make the grapple. I had a natural 4.
Yeah. Unfortunately, no, that did not hit.
So I'm gonna not do a grapple, I'm gonna take my 2 attack.
Go for it.
Yeah, while he's doing that, I'm also gonna make my way over to the
Halfling luck.
to the king's side,
Okay.
so I can stop him. Then I'm gonna. So once I'm on this side, I'm gonna cast your image. I'm gonna make more copies of myself.
20.
All right.
20.
So I'm gonna make
20.
three copies of myself. There'll be 4 of me going around there,
Okay.
and I'm gonna. So if they do try to attack, they gotta guess which one's me.
Okay.
So I'll end my turn.
These dwarves are probably too smart to figure out which one's the real me.
Okay. So 6 points of damage.
Yeah. That's all I got this round, unfortunately.
Deception.
All right. So as you kind of go around to the side of the king, you see him put his hand on the hilt of his sword as he's making signals to other people within the camp. Just an FYI. All right, so Harbach's turn. Natural 17.
Yeah.
So
6 there.
that's definitely a hit. 13.
No.
Okay. So 2 hits as he again goes for the body. You feel one of your ribs crack as he does 12 points of damage.
Okay.
But it is your turn.
Sweet. And again, I'm gonna
Go right behind the queen.
Okay.
gonna start off with the grapple.
Doesn't appear to notice you there.
So I'm gonna
21
kind of like put
to grapple.
So I'm gonna break stealth and put my hand on her shoulder with my dagger right by her.
Okay.
Don't make the call, dear.
So she kind of looks down at you. How's Ransom?
Welcome to Baldur's Gate.
So I leave my.
You see your eyes get big when you say that. So, Cole, you see Daedalus. As you now have noticed Terra saunter up next to the queen as they're kind of chatting.
So I know something is amiss.
You know something is amiss.
So I'm gonna pull my hood back up over my head, and are there any trees or anything I might be able to place myself on and use as a vantage point? So I'd like to find the one that looks like it would be the easiest to climb.
There's plenty of window ledges on the main manor. I would say that there's definitely a tree that you can
Okay.
work your way up.
I'll go with the tree just because I sense that I might be more obscured that way.
Okay.
So I'll try to find the tree that looks like it would be like the least challenging to climb, and just try to get a vantage point down onto this.
Make an athletics check of 12, please.
Athletics.
Just say athletics.
How many say if I have an inspiration?
Come on, you're supposed to be a fighter. What's your number?
11.
11. I'll say you start climbing your tree and you slip a couple of times, but you're on a lower limb.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll accept that for now.
Okay. Yeah. Doesn't necessarily, just because you don't make the roll doesn't mean you fail it. It just means you may have succeeded, but
Right.
something complicated it, or not the exact goal that you wanted to. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So you are on a lower limb, but you are in the tree now.
Okay, so I'm just gonna sit there with my pistols in my lap.
Okay. You do see 3 dwarves in one of the tents, like, preparing. They're frantically looking through trunks to break their weapons out, it looks like.
Okay.
So, things are happening. Frog.
I succeeded on the grapple check with
Okay.
21.
Alright. So you have him grappled now. How do you have him grappled?
So I'm gonna when I grapple him, I'm gonna twist one of his arms behind him and put his face in the dirt.
Alright. So you're pinning him as well?
Okay, I wouldn't say I'm pinning.
Okay, alright, so just a grapple.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I'm gonna
alright.
just grapple him, and as I grapple him, I'm gonna do the same thing I did last time. I'm gonna grab him by the back of his head and just slam his face into the rock.
Go for it.
And grapple beautiful as a damage. Thank God.
Oh my
Natural 18
Alright,
For the
that's
first
definitely a hit.
for the first attack. Thank
Yep.
God.
Come on, come on.
And a natural 11 plus 9.
That's definitely a hit as well. So, alright.
So, and 2, right? I would roll 2d6, I think. Because
Well,
I.
if you're slamming him into
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So 5 and a 4.
plus
Right.
your...
No.
Is
No.
it plus anything?
No,
or
no, no,
No,
no.
it's not plus any proficiency.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
Just
it's-
my rolls get the
Yeah.
proficiency.
But it's still a rep to the damage
Okay.
there.
So again, you're just continuing to pummel his head into the same spot. And the next time that you pull his head away from the stone pillar, his eyeball is like back in the socket. But it's completely backwards.
Also, it's like all...
The optic nerve is actually hanging out of the socket.
So you can
That's
see
so
a
gross.
white eye with these red strands going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Psychic damage.
I think you're surprising him. He's probably in a state of shock right now.
he was not expecting this for sure.
He's missing an eyeball after all.
Okay, so I need you, for his first action, he's going to use Intimidating Presence, so I need you to make a Wisdom save, please.
Okay.
And unfortunately, that's a barbarian strong suit.
Not my strong suit, unfortunately. Ah, that is a modified 20, actually.
Alright, I think you beat the 12. So, you hear him scream with that eye in his socket, and you can tell it's definitely posturing for intimidation, but you are decidedly winning this victory, and you both know it. So that was his first action. Second one is going to be breaking out of your grapple, 25.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And now he's going to grapple you for his third action.
Bring it on.
Woo! 27.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. So he has you essentially by the waist in a waist lock. But it is your turn.
Sweet. So I'm going to try to break free of the grapple. That would be 24.
You beat him. So you get your arms in between yourself and his arms and kind of lift up, and his arms kind of separate and his hands break free of the grapple. So now it's your turn.
So I'm going to, after I break free the grapple, I'm going to do a quick turnaround and just 2 nice good punches to his face.
Go ahead. Nice punches. I've never
Yeah.
heard
Oh.
punches described as nice.
When they come from Barag, yes. I'm going to take the hit on this. It's a natural 3. I will not use an inspiration yet. Not
Okay.
my last
All right. So he manages to kind of block one.
And that's a natural 2.
Natural 2.
Yeah.
And so he blocks both of them. Group, you see 3 men head out of the tent with daggers that are easily hidden.
Do I see that too or no?
Make a perception. He was looking out specifically for that.
Yeah, I know.
Here's
So-
a question that I hadn't thought about before. I don't know if this is up to me or not. Just because it's situational at this point.
No.
Can I attempt? I don't know if Cole knows how to do this. I'm not gonna say he does because that would feel like metagaming at this point. But can I attempt to like let out a really sharp whistle?
Sure.
Okay. Can I just do that, or do I need to like? Is that a roll, or is that
I will say, well, what is the intent of the whistle?
to gain the attention of? Well, I'm sure it might gain more than just their attention, but to gain the attention of the rest of the group, it's specifically Terra and Daedalus.
Okay. So why don't we make this?
I was gonna say, did Ulder get the guards to go inside, like around the inside of the
Yeah,
ring?
it seems like everybody's mobilizing. So why don't we do this? Since you're whistling for the group, you make a perception roll, but you're both going to make them with advantage. It's part of your whistle.
Natural 17 plus 9.
Nice.
I got a 7 and a 6, so I probably don't need to do that.
Plus what?
So 3, so 8, 9, 10.
10? Okay. You hear a whistle, but you don't know what direction it's coming from. You, at the queen's side, you definitely know where it's coming from. You see Kohl, and you see exactly what Kohl is looking at. You see 3 people moving, 3 dwarves moving in the direction of the arena.
So I whisper to her ear and kind of like push the dagger a little more so she feels it a little more. Call them off.
She kind of sneers down at you. "You kill the queen."
I won't kill you, but I would say you're breaking tradition. I don't know if the other houses would really like that.
I'll take my chance.
So I push her to the side and I dash as fast as I can
Okay.
to the other 3 dwarves.
Okay.
Such as I don't see
So
this.
now you do. As soon as she pushes the queen to the side, now everybody's moving to action. You see dwarves start to mobilize, but you see flaming fists start to mobilize, and you hear now Uldar, "Secure the arena! Secure the arena!" as a circle of flaming fist mercenary guards, now with halberds and swords, encircle the outside of the arena where Barag and Halbrek are fighting. What are you guys doing? Harbach, I'm sorry.
So
So they're only coming, the dwarves are coming from only one direction, right?
They're all over the place.
They're all over the place.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stay where...
So the flaming fists are essentially making an inner ring, just on the outside of the.
So basically right here, on the
Right.
inside of this ring here.
So the side that I'm on, I'm gonna have not only I join them, but I'm also gonna have my clones join them too.
Okay.
Trying to make making second guesses.
Make an intimidation check with advantage.
Oh,
Let's hope this goes better than the last roll.
Don't think that, just roll. Bust the dice.
oh
18. So
All right. Natural 18. So your duplicates run to the outside of the arena, and each one shows flashes of magic energy, almost like an Eldritch Blast. One of them shows your new your new ability, Eye of the Beholder, as ethereal, almost eye stalks of beholders come out, and automatically the dwarves stop in their tracks. Sword still out though. The king looks like he is ready to go into the ring himself. He is in a state of panic.
looks like he's ready to shoot himself.
So nobody's made a move to attack it. They're just closing.
Not
in.
yet, because of him.
So I'm gonna actually shoot my crossbow at the feet of the king and use ensnaring strike
Okay.
to ensnare him so he doesn't move.
Okay, make a roll.
Gosh, this guy truly is a coward. And a selfish one at that.
17.
17 definitely hits. So that I believe is like
It traps in vines.
vines, right? Yes. So you quickly take your crossbow and you basically shoot from the hip as the bolt hits right next to his foot, and vines wrap all the way to waist high as the king is now ensnared in one spot and looking in a panic.
I would like to just keep observing, and I'd like to specifically look for any of the Fireforged dwarves who might manage to break the ranks of the Flaming Fists and get into the inner circle.
Sure.
So I just want to keep an eye out for that.
Gotcha. Okay. So now it is Harbach's turn. So he is going to make a grapple. 21.
Yeah.
Okay. So his first attack is 19.
Yeah.
So he essentially pile drives you right into the dirt. Second attack is 14.
Exactly.
All right. So he does it again, a double pile driver.
So mine is
So 12.
12.
Oh my Jesus.
I won't tell him my health though. I'll let him
Oh
sit on the
my
edge.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm not gonna tell him. I'm gonna let him sit on
It's
the
all
edge.
good. All right.
So he has me grappled, right?
Cole, make a perception roll.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you're still grappled.
Okay.
Natural
20.
20.
You see one at the very edge of the arena is now sneaking past. He's made a stealth roll, and he is sneaking into the arena. It's only one who managed to get past the line.
Okay, so I'd like to aim directly at him and let off a winging shot.
Go for it.
I don't know why I was thinking winging shot in my head. Right now, right before he was about to do so, I was like, this
One that's
one
gonna pretty much halt his movement.
He goes.
Doesn't it knock him prone, right?
Yeah, it knocks him
If I
prone.
remember correctly. A winging shot knocks him prone. So basically, everybody's gonna see him because he can. Hopefully.
Okay, it's gonna be 23.
23 hits. All right. So what do I have to roll against?
I will let you know in just a second. It's been a while since I took a winging shot. So I am expending a grit point to do it.
Yep.
Strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Ooh. What's the DC on that?
The DC is gonna be 8. It's gonna be 18.
18. All right. He definitely makes his. He rolled a natural 17, so he definitely makes the strength saving throw.
Okay.
But you hit him clearly right in the shoulder, and he kind of is back against the outside of the arena. But now all eyes are on him as the Flaming Fists kind of turn around and grapple for him, and he's getting pulled out of the arena forcefully by the guard that are there.
And I'll just continue observing for that.
Gotcha.
And I'm
Alright.
keeping an eye on the king.
Okay. He's still in one spot. All right, Barag,
Great grapple.
go for it. Contested strength check. 19.
Jesus.
3
I
million.
beat you by 1.
All right. All right. All right.
A modified 20.
So you break out of the of Harbach's grapple,
Sweet.
his waist lock.
I'm gonna roll for. You know what? I'm just gonna take 2 straight attacks
Go for it.
for next time.
Halfling luck.
Thank God for halfling luck, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'd be so screwed right now. Natural 19 auto crit.
Wow.
Auto crit.
Kyle is just smiling from
What?
ear to ear.
And you know what the best part of that? I don't even have to roll for the damage. This is double.
Mm-hmm.
12 damage. Yes. Alright. Oh, and here's my last attack roll. Yes. A natural 13 plus 9.
Alright, so that hits.
Good shoot.
Man. Alright, so he's looking hurt. He's definitely looking hurt. And that crit, you see his nose just completely flattened. It is his turn.
Yummy.
Ooh, 28.
Yeah, of course.
Alright,
So, 6.
29. And 16.
Yeah.
Alright, so all 3 hits. He's just going left, right, left. So you take 18 points of damage. But it is your turn.
I will roll for a grapple.
Go for it.
Thank God I took that grappler feat early on.
That's nice, yeah.
A natural 13 plus 9.
Alright, that's a hit.
Sweet.
Barely. But it's a hit.
Yeah.
Alright.
So now I'm gonna... Same thing, man. Gonna just smash his face into this rock repeatedly.
Alright. I believe you have advantage on these, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, that's why I'm like grapple first.
Go for it.
Yeah, you could do a pun like, yeah, oh, it's like, time for you to leave an impression.
19! Oh my god! I love being a fighter.
Wow. Okay, alright. So you get to roll that d6 twice. So it's 6 plus 2d6.
Okay. So I still have one more attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, so should I roll?
So
for this?
let's resolve that damage first.
Okay, so 2d6 for this, right?
Yeah.
So
Damn, man.
5, 6, 7
Mhm.
there.
So 13 total.
Yeet. Alright, roll for the second attack now. As I pull his head back for the second one, how you like him at? And smash him back into the rock.
Shit talking, huh?
Oh yeah.
All the crap
Natural-
we had to go through with them.
Yeah, 21.
21 hits.
Yeah.
So another 6 points of damage.
And, you say you drove him into the wall, so,
Yeah, oh, well, let
so
me...
you gotta roll that 1 plus d6.
Yeah, let me
So
right.
you do it.
Thank you for reminding me. I was just happy I hit him again.
Another 3 points.
Yeah.
Alright. So he is going to try to break your arm. He's going to grapple. 23.
Yeet.
Alright. He's going to make a strength check. This is going to be a contested strength check.
Okay.
So he's just going to punch you right at the elbow.
Alright.
Right in the funny
16. No, not a contested. No, it's just a hit. If he were to roll a
Okay.
critical, he would have broke your arm.
Oh, okay.
But this is just 6
Okay.
points of damage.
Okay.
Jeez, that means he hit the funny bone.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that. You ever like smacking on something by accident?
And last one is 23.
Yeah. of
So
course.
again, quickly hits you right in the arm, trying to break that elbow.
Mm-hmm.
But it is your turn. He does have your arm grounded.
Okay, so I'm grapple. So I'm gonna break grapple. Well, try to break grapple. So 20. Break grapple.
Ooh, 29.
Ah.
He maintains his hold on your arm
Gonna.
as he's got you bent at the waist and he has your arm locked.
I'm gonna try to break grapple again.
Go for it.
Repeat that. I'm gonna use my last inspiration.
Alright.
Natural 2.
Okay.
So re-roll this.
That one you keep rolling 2s on, man.
A lot of them I rolled 2s on, and I lost track of which one's which. Nah, I didn't make it.
Modified 20 I rolled
Yeah.
to maintain my grip. So you've got one last attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, go for it.
I'm gonna try to break the grapple again. Any other way to get out of this? Grapple! No, natural 7. Plus
16.
9.
It's a tie.
It's tied.
It's a tie?
Yeah, tie goes to the attacker.
Oh, shit.
So no, it was your turn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you break out.
Yeah, so I break
Yeah.
out. Oh, sweet.
So you managed to break out with your last action of that round.
Awesome.
Cole, make a perception roll.
I'm gonna bonus action to take 1 greater.
Modified.
Can you?
You can. I don't. Make a history check.
Modified.
Modified.
Oh, well, technically, yeah, it is a fight
Well,
to death, so.
And you're in your skivvies. You don't have any.
Yeah, you
That's
Any-
true,
I
yeah.
don't have
You
anything.
don't
I don't have my
health
tax.
potions.
I don't even have my
Yeah.
potions. Nothing.
Tax
So it's a
stuff.
fight to the death. I should've
So
saved that for the end.
you do see
Oh, well.
Well, you haven't
somebody
technically used it.
trying to break in.
Yeah, I
And
used
again,
it.
another fire forge.
Okay.
What do you use my second one?
So I will do the same thing. Do a
Okay.
ringing shot.
These guys are desperate. Yeesh.
It's almost breaking out to pure panic.
I
That's
didn't expect him to be such a freaking.
He's an eagle eye, man.
28.
That's what he
to hit.
does.
And
That is definitely a hit. So let me go ahead and make a.
Strength
Con or
save
strength?
against 18.
I didn't expect him to be such a powerhouse.
So you knock him right out, like you hit him right in the gut, and he falls down, and again gets dragged out of the arena by the flaming fist, bleeding out of his abdomen from the shot that you took.
Okay. And can I say that, since I'm not technically like in combat, can I say that I'm just reloading
Yes.
after each shot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you absolutely can do that. All right, so my turn, right?
Yeah.
It's like constant stream of bullets.
Okay, 21, modified 21. All right, so he tries to throat chop you and gets you right in the shoulder, right in the collarbone. Cock die. Modified 20.
Yeah.
Okay. Second attack and modified 20 for the last attack. So,
Yep.
3, 1 chop and 2 headbutts. Doesn't break your nose, but it's smart. So you kind of feel like your eyes stinging. But you do take 18 points of damage.
So, so nothing's really happening on my side of things. Like there's no.
Right now, just your duplicates are keeping everybody at bay, and with that 18 intimidation check, it seems like, with the exception of the ones that Cole manages to kind of pick off, they all seem kind of like leery of the magic of Daedalus Hartwell.
They all think they might get hit by 4 different Eldritch blasts.
Yes. And they don't know who's who. So, go for it.
Grab.
Go for it.
So I'm just like, I kind of make like all of them taunt at different times. Just to kind of like, pretty much, keep them guessing.
Sure.
Natural 3, so I'm just gonna make 2 straight attacks now.
Okay, go for it.
A natural 15 plus 9.
That's a hit.
Natural 17 plus 9.
All right. 12. All right. So you see him standing in front of you. He has his fists up, just pouring, gushing blood out of his head and his eye hole. You've got blood coming out of your ear where he took a chunk out. You see him starting to get desperate as he's looking to the left and the right.
As I see this, there's no escaping now.
I don't quit. 29 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so doubles you over with 1 punch. Oh, that's a miss. That is 13 to hit.
Yes.
And the last one, 25.
Yeah, that hits.
All right, so the last one was, I'll say another stomach punch as he hits you twice right in the stomach and doubles you over. Your turn.
As he does that, I'm gonna say, is that the best you got? Is that the best you got, man?
Gosh, I would have just like,
Grapple.
Go for it.
I would have summoned up just to barf on him, just embarrassing. Like,
Barf all
my
over
bad.
him. Oh, that's embarrassing. Natural 17 plus 9.
That's it.
Alright, and I'm just gonna keep bashing his head into that rock
Go for it.
with advantage. That sweet, sweet advantage.
Dumb bucks are used by now.
Jeez. Natural 18 plus 9.
Alright.
And I'm gonna roll for the second attack now.
Go for it.
Natural 9.
Alright, so go ahead. So 12 damage and then roll 2d6 for the stone.
Okay. Seven.
Alright.
19.
So as you you have him in a grapple and you hit him as hard as you can right into the stone, and you see his legs are like jelly, and you take him for that last hit, and you see his neck crack at a 90-degree angle as his body just goes completely limp
So did we
into
all
the
see-
stone.
did we all see
Everybody
this?
sees it. You hear swords drop to the ground as you see dwarves drop to one knee.
And I'm just like cheering and stuff right in front of the king, by the way. I'm just like grinning in front of him.
Sure.
I'm like, eat that shit.
Damn!
I'm gonna go right up to him. Next time, don't fuck with our city.
So you see him take his helmet off, put it to the ground, and get on one knee.
And as say it again one more time.
Harbrock.
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 Harbrock. Sorry, I pronounced it 3 different times. Harbrock.
So, Harbrock, as we go limp my hand, just like throwing a child to the pigs, just chuck his lifeless body to the ground. And I just crack my knuckles and crack my neck. That was...
You hear, Drac, 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 in the crowd.
refreshing.
And as you say that, you see dozens of swords in the air. And this is what we'll pick up next time. Well done. King Drac.
Wow.
First of his name.
Wow, that was awesome.
That was intense.
So intense. Just a bloody fight to the death.
Fist fight to the death for the throne to the Dwarven Kingdom.
Yeah.
Now you've got Delzoun. The whole of Delzoun.
Under my reign.
Under your reign.
Really cool.
That was awesome. And you know what? He was trying to hint too at it when he was in the main room, in the main hall. When he pulled his sword.
Who? Who was trying to
The
hit?
king.
The former king.
The former king was
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to hit. You were trying to push that like fight, 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 fight.
Well, he had come specifically
For that.
to kill you.
Yep.
And really, he didn't want to leave without that.
Yeah.
And if he had left without killing you, it would have... This whole thing would have been for nothing.
Yeah.
Like, that's the reason why he brought his armies. Like, he
Yeah.
was just going to kill you.
And he specifically mentioned it too, like, I could have not have come
Yeah.
to Baldur's Gate.
Well, that's why when Daedalus overheard him, or saw that with his observant feet, yeah.
He was,
That made it right there.
And Plan B was ready to mend,
yeah.
yeah.
you know?
And
So-
ready to then fail.
Yeah.
Thanks to my awesome team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Freaking Valor's Ransom and sharpshooting and...
He thought he could pull that crap in front of us.
Yeah.
Too bad I have a sharpshooter,
Yeah.
freaking warlock,
Yeah.
and a freaking rogue. A
Yeah.
halfling
Not to
rogue.
mention a Duke of Baldur's Gate to just order men to go.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
send him in now.
Yeah.
Protect the circle.
Jumped under the table.
Okay.
By the
That's
way,
clutch, man.
how's my health still?
64? That
After
wasn't that,
everything.
that much, dude.
That's not a lot.
That can go quick.
Yeah,
That could
it
go
was
real
going
quick.
very quick, but I was like, you know what? He's missing an eye. That means he's a lot more hurt than I am.
Yeah,
I
well,
got
that,
this.
yeah. That eye was that critical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
That was
dope.
that crit. All right, guys. We
Yeah.
hope you had a blast. I think a couple of guys and a gal here had a blast
Oh.
watching Barag ascend to the throne. Other than that, we will try to play next week. No promises, guys, because we have Comic-Con coming up very, very soon. 12 Days in a Wake Up, I believe,
Yeah.
for preview night. 12 Days in a Wake Up. So, make no promises, but we will try to get in another game prior to that. If not, we hope to see you at Comic-Con. I hope you're there, having a great time. Be safe. Other than that, love each other, play D&D, and be awesome. Good night, guys.